Nah, Mari, Cage doesn't have any questions for me. He's just here to give me a rough time, but I appreciate it. I appreciate all you guys anytime you come by and hang out. So, the topic tonight, like I said, as a disclaimer to Mari, because I do want to protect her very clean, innocent ears. Oh, Mari, don't worry. Disrupting the stream is what we do. Okay, that's how we roll around here. But I just wanted to be disclaimer that this is going to be discussing a lot of drama tonight going on with YouTuber The Quartering and a lot of the fallout around his own perceived hypocrisy in a lot of his coverage over the years, and basically in the way that he's presenting himself to his viewers, to his audience. What's with the lighting in here? No, that's too bright. That's too bright. Clean, innocent. I would say you've got a very wholesome, very innocent spirit, we'll say. So I think that I don't think you are fully aware of how awful the world can be at times, and I don't want you to ever change. I like people who are of good heart and, clean nature and innocent to somewhat retain that innocence, Hey, Susano. Yeah, tonight's going to be a weird one. I have not talked about drama in a long time, and probably won't again for a while. I do love me some drama. Back in the day, the Tim Pool, Eliza Blue stuff was a lot of fun. Dude, I love that it confuses the hell out of you guys. I love that. Why is Pretzel Rocks only playing one song? We'll just kill the music. Kill it, whatever. If you can mix up a Friday and a Monday, that's a talent, dude. Amari is a good soul compared to the rest of us delinquents. Exactly. That's exactly my point. I'm not saying that you're not an adult who can't hear adult topics. I'm just saying I think of you as somebody that has a very good nature about you, and I don't want to ever corrupt that. So that is just my take on the entire thing. Since we're going to be talking about the quartering and drama, been retired legally since 2013. Dude, I have no idea, man. I have no idea what that would be like. What did he do this time? Okay, it's crazy. Lugia, I want to start off before we even get talking about the quartering by saying this. I started recording video content because of the quartering, not because I looked up to him like, oh my god, he's such a great role model and such an intelligent speaker and he's just like the best news broadcaster. No, it had nothing to do with that. It was 2020. We were all getting locked in, businesses getting shut down, inflation skyrocketing because the government printed a bunch of checks it couldn't back, and kind of tanked the economy, and things had never been the same since. And so I went from doing my normal naive, innocent streaming on Twitch, paying my bills, making money, and having a good go of it, to no longer being able to look at ever buying a house, still raising my kids, but then having massive amounts of restrictions and lockdown and all that bullshit that happened, to where then it was like, okay, so I started perusing YouTube in my spare time, of which I had a lot because business took a massive hit. And that's when I discovered, like the commentary channels on YouTube. I didn't use YouTube for anything but how-to videos and looking up old songs and shit, man. You look up to everyone. Dude, not even kidding. The quartering is like 6'5" or some shit and like 450 pounds. So he's got like he's got like three bodies on me, man. Saw military-related channels covering him. I have no idea what he did that they'd be speaking about. Didn't care to listen at the time. Because what happened, Susano, is the quartering has existed for, I guess, like 15 years on YouTube. I don't know. I discovered him back in 2020. So I'd watch him for like updates on news things and whatnot. The reason, like I say, that watching him kind of inspired me to make videos wasn't because I thought he was so amazing. It was one of those, look, if he can do it, I can do it too, Well, Cage, I don't know the exact height of the quartering. I really don't care. So what happened was, along the way, you see trends, and he's always getting into some bullshit drama with other content creators. He had beef with Tim Pool for a long time, rival coffee companies, all sorts of stuff like that. Then, of course, he would always use it to farm engagement. He did that with a lot of like the other content creators he's always fighting with. And then, of course, starting his coffee company. Whereas, for example, if you go to like my website where I am literally just a dude in his office at home that has a website, a YouTube channel, and a full-time job, like the tea stuff, this is me. I literally had to make labels and put tea into bags by hand for anybody that buys my tea on my website. The quartering, it's most likely a white label drop shipping situation where his coffee company, he's buying it from a company called, I think, Mill Creek or whatever. They've pretty much identified, where it's just got his label slapped on it. He's got a warehouse full of coffee, and that's it. Toss a quarter at your quartering. So along the way, he shifted from culture war commentary, anti-woke commentary, to being more of a news channel, to where now for the past 6 months, he basically decided that the algorithm changed and he was just going to be a news channel full time. Every video was about ice, ice, ice. If you went back and actually looked up his videos from the past like 3 to 4 months, at least 3 times a day, he was using the word ice Karen in all of his videos. Dan versus Sydney. Did Sydney Watson keep her tea company going? And again, I know nothing about her tea company. I don't think she's actually putting it in bags on her own. Just saying. Susano, I have been around for the last 5-6 years of the quartering. So my knowledge of the quartering is of the last 6 years of following his content. Just noticed my tab with Casey's latest clip clowning on quarter pounder shows their account was terminated. Dude, you're not even kidding about him making Jarbo look respectable. That a lot of people have said the same thing. Yeah, so Mari, my real life job, not to dox myself, because I like to keep my work life, family business, and my YouTube life a little separate. I know eventually the two might collide. My family's worked in the food industry my entire life. So we have a food company that I have taken over in the last year from my mom. She's trying to retire, and then I'm basically the last family member left. And so I deal with this kind of stuff, whether it's organic spices and those kind of things. So tea is naturally right up my alley and everything else. So this is something where in my facility I actually go and bag all of it myself. It's not something where it's sitting in a warehouse, 2,000 miles away. Somebody buys it from our website, and then some person who's paid, $12 an hour goes and bags it and ships it randomly across the country. You watch me this. Susano, I appreciate that. Because honestly, I don't have time. There will be weeks where I'll actually watch videos, and there will be weeks where people I watch don't upload any videos. And then there will be times that I'm just flat out not in the mood for anyone's crap, and I'll just listen to music the whole week. I don't drink tea and I'm poor, neither wins. You don't drink tea? Oh my God. Mr. I shit on every game. Who are we talking about? The quartering? Or are you talking about me because I don't like Marathon? Is that the one? Maybe to be clear, you're not making rage content, starting viewing channels like his is that, and well, it's easy to burn out watching this stuff. For sure, yeah. No, so like, my kids will help from time to time, but it really depends. It has to be specific things that they can do without. And honestly, I grew up in a family business, and it wasn't a good environment because the amount of hours that I was working essentially for free my entire first 10 years of my teenage into early 20s life. So I don't want to use my kids as free labor. I'm not interested in that. All right, so just kind of to catch everybody up, that's kind of the situation with the quartering. Then apparently, I didn't know this, because I actually unsubscribed to his channel a while back because I had no interest in watching his crap anymore. Because as you watch the quartering over the last few years, his content has gotten more and more to where he just looks like he's miserable, he hates what he's doing, and he's just putting out slop over and over and over and over. And then he's talking on his live streams about how, I had to make 15 videos this morning and 150 shorts this week, and I hate making shorts. And it's like, dude. So the quartering will do these things where he'll take a 3-minute video from somebody who uploaded it to TikTok or Instagram or YouTube or Facebook or whatever. And then he'll be like, whoa, check out this video. This is crazy. It's like 7 seconds. And then he'll upload that with a 3-minute video following it. That is how he's staying alive in the YouTube algorithm. That is essentially what he's doing. People have shown his analytics. That's exactly what's happening. 75% of his recent video views have come from shorts, not from long-form content. because listening to him talk long form is getting worse and worse and worse as he just kind of stammers through all of his videos, stammers through his live streams. The man has genuinely nothing interesting to say. Nothing at least halfway intelligent. And there's streams that I sound like a freaking retard. Like, I get it, guys. We all have a bad day. For him, it's consistent, though. So, sounds Dickensian? Are we talking about, like, Dickens? What are we saying exactly there, Cage? I don't really quite know what you're talking about there. All right. So, that's just my own observations on the quartering for the past like 6 years. There's obviously more nuance to it than that, but he's also had like co-hosts, come and go. He tried to start his own news company, The Publica. That completely crapped out. Jeremy Boomer Mindset Hambly, exactly. Buy my copy, please, dude. I've been associated with like the buy my book, please people. Those who know, you know who I'm talking about. Buy my book. Buy my book. And it's just awful. I like doing something where, for me, YouTube is a hobby. It puts a few bucks in my pocket. I have my website anyways because I got into where I liked writing articles. I could host my own articles on my website, link to my videos, and then, of course, have something to maybe put a few more bucks in with, like, the tea or merchandise or whatever. Oh, Dickens, child labor England guy. Yeah. Brie Larson. Oh, yeah. Dude, although, to be fair, I didn't like Brie Larson either, but man, he made like 130 videos on Brie Larson. Dumas is a name that isn't spoken the way it reads, as is Crapper. I can't imagine having that last name. Anyways, okay. So to catch everybody up, there's multiple videos out there. Kino Casino, who I didn't even watch. I didn't even watch Kino Casino before all this quartering stuff happened. That is how toxically, and I don't mean toxic like, oh, you guys are so toxic. I mean, like, this is like viral, guys. The backlash to this has been insane. Minimal Effort Channel is my Western news source. Oh God, please don't use me as a news source. Please don't do that. Christian Bale says Hollywood and the world would be better if white dudes weren't in charge of everything. Yeah, Christian Bale is one of those self-hating white men. Nothing you can do about them. There's legitimately nothing you can do about guys like that. He's been in a lot of good movies, but, I'm sure he's just another libtard freak, so whatever. My first music teacher's name was Fiok, by the way. No joke. Oh, my God. All right, so I think Brittany Venti's summary here will pretty much catch everybody up on the entire situation. At least without all the context. I mean, there'll be some stuff missing. I can kind of like fill in the blanks, because I've been following this stuff for a couple weeks now. Christian Bale, the actor, says there'd be so much better films and so much more interesting stories if white dudes weren't running Hollywood. By Zach Sharp, December 19th. I remember hearing something about that, but I'm not talking about Christian Bale right now. To be honest, my secondary channel that I was intending to get back to has just taken like a month and a half long hiatus. Maverick, please. We'll talk about Christian Bale later on. We're not talking about Christian Bale right now. All right? Anyways. Getting back to this, Brittany Venti says, quick rundown on how the quartering went woke. And I think by woke, what she's talking about is the fact that he's flagging people's channels now. Quarter Cut gets butthurt at the Kino Casino for laughing at him for being boring, oversharing, and constantly crowdfunding money despite flexing wealth. So this is the craziest thing. Apparently, he has been flexing the fact that he's got like a Rolex collection. He raised money for his K-Cups for his coffee company. He talked about how constantly he had to put like $800,000 or some shit on his credit cards for his coffee company, but his coffee company's made like $5 million. So again, which one is it? All this stuff. He has massively conflicting reports about how wealthy he is. He was doing that around 5 years ago. Are we talking about the quartering or Christian Bale? Because I don't want to talk about Christian Bale right now. We'll talk about Christian Bale a different day. So here's the reason that they started making fun of him. Okay, Maverick Defender, I'm gonna put you in timeout if you keep spamming, dude. We're not talking about Brie Larson. We're not talking about Christian Bale. Dude, just chill, dude. Has nothing to do with Christian Bale. The Quarterman, okay. Okay, so Jeremy has a Jewish bull named Adam that is publicly a swinger and has a criminal record. This has been verified because there's a dude in the Quarterings Discord who has a special like VIP role. He has access to like, you know, the all the channels that are like private if there are any private channels. He's like a top moderator in the Discord, right? Jeremy Bale. God. You guys gotta stop. Anyways, so on top of that, this dude is an open swinger. He's got a Reddit account they verified with his Twitter account, which he uses his real name, Adam, whatever his name is, not Sessler. Oh my God, I just thought Adam Sessler from like G4. Jeremy Bale, yeah. So this dude who's a good close friend of the Quarterings is a swinger, right? He has had this guy over to his house. He has talked very, what's the word I'm looking for? Vulgarly, I guess is the best word for it, about how he wants that guy to bring his wife over so he can see her big boobs in the hot tub, this whole thing. Okay, Maverick Defender, I'm going to put you in timeout now because I don't know why. I don't even know if you're a real person. At this point, you're talking like a bot, dude. I don't know what to tell you, but you've got a little 30-minute timeout. I'm not banning you, but I'm tired of the spam. Anyways, Jeremy openly lusts after many women, including me, and this is Brittany Venti talking, saying that he wants my babies, and we have the video clip of that. We can play that later. His wife has no children. Now, this is another thing about the Quartering. Cage, it's probably a bot. I don't know. I'm not worried. I don't care. I'm not worried about this guy. Okay. One of my singers was a swinger due to go through like 3 to 4 ladies a week. Oh my God, that's just nuts. And that's the thing too. Jeremy has done this thing for like I'm not even kidding. For the past 5 years of watching his content, he's like, oh, you know, maybe one day I'll have a kid. Maybe one day my wife and I'll have started a family. And I'm like, dude, you're approaching your 40s. You're like 400 pounds. Your wife and you are never having kids. I don't know if this is part of his LARP as like he's a trad conservative guy. Like, I'm just a Midwest country bumpkin with conservative traditional values, even though I'm not a conservative and I'm not MAGA, but I have a MAGA cookbook I'm selling. So anyways, he has no kids. Kino Casino points out this hypocrisy since he's Schrodinger's conservative and also a Christian. And again, Schrodinger's conservative because depending on which day you ask him, he's either not conservative or he's massively conservative. You know, the whole guys, remember Goonergate last year? Was that a year ago? Goonergate, where Melanie Mack called First Descendant softcore porn and Jeremy backed her up on it. Yeah, same guy. Okay. By the way, you can still see video of Jeremy talking about the Bella Delphine video couple years ago that came out that he did a very detailed review of on a video. So again, same guy. Let me see here. Jeremy from the Quartering said he wanted Kino Casino to lose it all for this and flexed his connections to get them banned. And I'll show you guys some of the screenshots. Used his wife as a shield, claiming that she is not an internet person, despite featuring her heavily on his channel. I'm not going to pull up any pictures of the Quartering's wife, but she is on his Coffee Brand Coffee. At least she was on the Coffee Brand Coffee website. Photo of her right there. She's been on his channel that has like 100,000 subscribers, the Claw Machine channel, all this stuff. He's doing the business of playing a role or putting on a performance. Maybe, I don't know. Plus Morgan was such a hottie on that show. Dude, I barely watched G4. I don't know when G4 was good, but I was working too much. I genuinely, if I wasn't playing a video game or at the gym, I was working. That was all I had going on in my life before I got married, was gaming, gym, work. You know, some days 12, 13-hour days, and 6 days a week sometimes. So then, of course, he blamed Kino Casino for her alleged harassment. He claimed that people were texting her, how they got her number. I have no idea, but I'm not that kind of person to figure that shit out. I'm not the kind of guy that's going to be like, oh, I'll find you via your IP address. I'm not that smart, guys. When it comes to like internet stuff, that's not something that's my forte. But apparently he claimed that his wife was being harassed, even though his wife, you know, using her own public persona, her own public name, of which she's shared publicly, obviously. Oh, thanks for subscribing, JM Top. Appreciate you, bud. She was posting like pictures on Facebook outside of like Bull's gym, right? The whole Bull thing, the Jewish Bull, the guy friend Adam that apparently is a swinger. There's a lot of weird, strange innuendo and stuff that's come out over the past week or so. So then it says the quartering former free speech advocate refused to apologize to Kino Casino for encouraging the platform, of which he did say that he had the power to get their YouTube and Kick taken down. He then followed the CEO of Kick on Twitter, said, oh yeah, I'm going to go talk to this guy, blah, blah, blah. Essentially their boss. Attached to the meme war of 2012 and 2016, he was a player in it. Yes. Well, I mean, I think there's video footage that a lot of like Kino Casino and Brittany Venti have shared on their streams of Jeremy from the entire like early on meme wars, back when he kind of like latched onto Sargon and back when he was part of that. And essentially Jeremy wanted to take credit for like Gamergate 2 and all this other shit. It's whatever. Says he doubled down, and now after he encouraged them getting the platform, their YouTube has now been terminated. So again, you can see the original post right here. This was him saying, if I actually wanted to get them banned, this was him talking to, I believe, I don't know if this was him talking to Josh Moon. Oh, this is him replying to himself. If I wanted to get Kino Casino banned from YouTube, it would be very easy. Ashton Joel Parks, using his full name. The Chud Wars led to Kino Casino being canceled. I don't know. It's kind of like how Zoe Quinn and did you guys see that post on Twitter? It kind of went viral. Somebody shared a picture of Zoe Quinn and the Strait of Hormuz, I think it is pronounced, and said, if you can't identify how these two things are connected, then you shouldn't be allowed to immigrate to this country or something, right? Begun the Chud Wars have. My ex-wife, kid's mama, hated Olivia Munn because I loved her. Yeah. Okay, so this was him a few days ago saying, if I wanted to get them banned, it'd be easy. PPP has been banned multiple times on YouTube. It'd be as simple as reporting the channel for ban evasion, which of course I haven't done, and I proved it. When he says proved it, he shared a screen capture of one YouTube account, of which he has many, showing it had no report history. But then in previous videos, people have shown that he actually has reported channels and had a report history. So clearly it's not the same channel. All right. So moving on, he then said, oh God, that's a terrible picture. Everything is fair game. This was him threatening them back a few days ago, saying first will be your YouTube, which is in violation of ban evasion, easy takedown. So him flexing. Spooky Kitty, here's the thing. I don't have any like love for Kino Casino. I said earlier, and I'll say it again, I didn't watch them before all this quartering stuff. As it turns out from the sound of it, and these guys would admit themselves, they've lived kind of like disgusting, awful, degenerate lives, right? I don't love or hate Kino Casino. It is what it is, you know? I've been following their content because all this stuff about the quartering has been like, I watched the quartering for a long time. 2021, he was probably my most watched channel, which is sad to admit, but it's the truth, guys. So he said it'll be your YouTube, which is in violation of ban evasion, which is not true. Easy takedown, and next will be your Kick. I literally begged you two to be reasonable. I tried everything. You chose this. All I wanted was let you guys dunk on me. And he claims that they were attacking his wife, bringing up his family. And I don't know what he means family, because nobody knows anything about his parents other than the fact that his dad's passed away, which he talked about a couple years ago, and his mom is somewhere in Wisconsin. Nobody even mentioned his mom, and they have no kids. So when he keeps saying my wife and my family, dude, nobody knows who your family is because you don't have a family. You have no children. You are a 44-year-old, 450-pound childless man, surrounded by toys, an RC car track, 7 cars, like a 5-car garage. I mean, he's got like a I don't know how big his RC car track is in his yard. Huge, right? Massive mansion. He's got like 5 different streaming sets that his wife assembles for him because apparently he can't focus on putting together IKEA furniture. I mean, this guy is basically like a walking child, except he probably doesn't walk. He probably just rolls around. All right. So that being said, this was him just yesterday, April 9th. So today is the 10th. Yes, that is correct. Said it was the final time he would address the controversy. Said there have been folks having a lot of fun at his expense. It's been going on for like a year. Never said anything about it until recently when they started inventing vile lies about my wife, my family, and well, me as of course. Why military creators might have been covering this now. You contact law enforcement, not make posts or content out of it. Not believable. He did contact them. No one was actually messing with his family. How do you fail at building IKEA furniture? He claims that he either has Asperger's or he has like ADHD or something to where he can't mentally understand how to put together furniture. Well, I'm a spooky kitty. The funny thing about that is it's probably I know for a fact that's true. Now, there have been ones that were trans, but at the same time, he also... It's one of those things where it's like, run with the story that sounds good first, and then, you know, go back on it later when it turns out it's not true, or not even cover it, right? If I were to make a video covering something and I was wrong about it, I would go back and correct it, right? But unfortunately, I don't think that he necessarily even does that. I'm just going to silently work on my truck. Oh, no worries, Oblivion. It's one of those things called a lie. Yeah. All right. So this was the tweet of him basically saying, this is the one time I'll address it. He says, thing I forget is this is the internet, can't spend all day responding to every new insane claim. That's what they want. I've been doing this long enough to know better. I should never have even implied anything about taking their channel down. That's not okay. It's cringe. It's bad. It was me getting emotional. I guess it's harder to brush things off now that I'm in my mid 40s. Why the older he gets, the more sensitive he is retarded, because it's supposed to be the inversion of that. The older you get, the wiser and more emotionally mature you're, and as a man, the more emotionally in control of your emotions you're supposed to be, right? You're not supposed to be as irrational and impulsive. You should be more in tune with what you're supposed to, like how you're supposed to respond in stressful situations. Plain and simple, I got triggered when they moved on to insulting my wife, my marriage, and my family. Now, here's the thing. He claims they insulted his wife. They have actually been very kind and very respectful when they talk about his wife. They don't show pictures of her. They've never said a derogatory thing about her. All they've said is he has this guy around his wife doing God knows what, when this guy is an admitted swinger, admitted bull, and he is brought his wife over to the Quartering's house, and the Quartering has made all sorts of nasty comments about her, wanting to get her in his hot tub and everything else. I was watching Brittany Venti's live stream last night as I was mowing my yard. I'm listening to the live stream. He had one woman, and I remember this now. I think it was like a pre-election stream from like 2020 or something. He had a woman, a smaller YouTuber who had never been on his channel before. The minute she got on there, he spent the first half hour building up to it, telling his viewers that she had nothing on but a bra, brings her on, then starts hitting on her, talking about her feet, talking about how she sent him nudes. She's married, she's pregnant, she's fully clothed. She's like a social commentary YouTuber, and he spends the entire time talking about her feet and everything else. This has been a regular pattern to this dude for like the last 5 years, because I remembered this. When I watched this video, I'm like, oh my God, I watched that live back in the day. So his claim that people are attacking or insulting his wife, nobody has done a bigger disservice to his wife, like publicly, than he has. So about that, that's just all I'll say about that for now. They state as some of the most they state as fact some of the most vile, untrue shit imaginable, all in an attempt to get my attention, and I made the internet's cardinal sin of getting emotional. Maybe lay off the booze, dude. He is, in my opinion, based on the way he looks, a massive raging alcoholic, and he claimed back in the day, like, if it's a day ending in Y, I'm drunk. My ADHD doesn't mean anyone else has it. With it has whatever problems I'd have. We're all individuals, and that's just one of the labels he's using. Yeah, we're all individuals. We all treat things differently, right? Using a common stigma as a cop-out. Yeah, it's sad. All right. He says it's a no-win situation. They make up insane shit like my friend of 10 years is having sex with my wife. No. Okay. This goes back to him lying. Him lying to his audience, because now he's a Christian, now he's a trad conservative, and if that was true, I'd say great, whatever. I don't care. That's awesome. Good for you. But it's not true, because he lied, claiming he had no knowledge of his friend's past history. Friend of 10 years, and they have video footage of him saying to Hannah Claire and to Melanie Mac, I have friends that are swingers, to each their own, but like, I know what this does, what kind of lifestyle this is. They'll make us feet guys seem like him. Oh my God, dude. Anyways, I'm just saying it's what he does. It's the way that he talks to every woman, including, he did it to Sydney Watson. He did it to, I don't know if he did it to Hannah Claire. He did it to that Abby girl that was on. He's done it to like multiple women. It's crazy. What's a swinger? People that have sex with people who aren't their married spouse. Open marriage. So they know it's not like they're cheating, but it's basically, it's okay. You can do that. I can do that. You know, it's an open marriage. That's what a swinger is in the US. That's the term. Not reading chat at the moment, kind of eating and listening for now. No worries. Yeah, Mari. So Mari, that's kind of the situation this guy is in. And I say again, it makes it so much worse because now he's like posing as a reformed, former liberal, now turned Christian, but not conservative and not MAGA, but he's been MAGA for like the last 5 years. The man is basically, like they said, Schrodinger's Christian. Yeah, cheating with approval, still wrong though. Yeah, for most people who are married, you would view swinging as a taboo, as something that's not morally, it's morally unjustifiable. You cannot justify it. If you're in an open relationship, you just shouldn't be married. It's that easy. You just shouldn't bother getting married in the first place. I tried Jeremy's coffee once and it instantly made me feel angry about black people in Star Wars. Oh my God. Actually, to be honest, I tried the coffee one time and it was fine. It was fine. You know the problem? The problem with his coffee? It wasn't that it was bad. It was that for what it was massively overpriced. He claims that he makes like $1 to $3 per bag of coffee. Here, get this, guys. Talking about the fact that I've been in the food industry my entire life, whether it's been like commercial bakery, selling to, coffee shops, going to trade shows and events. I've done all this shit my entire life, guys. We owned a restaurant at one point. I've been in all the food industry has to offer. The crazy thing about it is he claims that if it was white label, he'd make less money. Oh, sorry. He thinks if it was white label, he'd make more money. That was the thing. So if you buy a product, white label or private label, as I like to call it, you will make less money because you're not doing any of the hands-on production. You're not buying the coffee beans. You're not roasting the coffee beans. You're not bagging the coffee beans. He's not even making the label himself. He is paying to have that shit, manufactured, roasted, shipped by somebody else, right? So he makes the least amount of money possible, but it's the least amount of physical work that he has to do. He actually tried to claim that if it was white label, it would make him more money than the way he does it now. It's completely inverted from reality. And I can tell you that as somebody who's been in the food industry my entire life. Hey, QC jerks. Swingers equals organized couple swapping partners. He said, what to my beloved Sydney Watson? Dude, I have the clip. I'm pretty sure it's in Brittany Venti's Substack here. He basically told her that. So she spends about 3 minutes talking about how she replaced her headphones and she really wanted to get a nice set of headphones. And this is from like 5 years ago and all this stuff. And he spends the entire time like leering at her, waiting for her to shut her mouth so he could be like, yeah, you could just put it on your Amazon wish list or your feet wiki and all this stuff. Basically waiting to talk about Sydney Watson's feet. Remember when he put cash in the coffee bags? Was it in the bags? I thought it was just in the boxes. Dude, that was right after. Man, what a racket. That was right after he started the coffee company. He's like, by the way, guys, if you buy coffee, here's a video of my warehouse guy, this dude stuffing cash into these random boxes of coffee. No proof that anybody actually got that money, by the way. Just saying. Nice gimmick, Jeremy. All right. Let me see. Talk about his wife. It's a no-win situation. Friend of 10 years. They film my comment sections and live stream chat because if I address it, they just make something else, more insane up. I have been way too open on the internet. Most everything they are memeing on is shit I've openly shared, like shitting my pants at a Walmart. First off, so going back to the deep lore about Jeremy, the quartering, the big joke about him was that he peed in his basement. Now, as far as that goes, I don't care. It was an unfinished basement. There was an open drain and he peed into it, right? For me personally, I'm like, I don't care if you pee in your shower as long as you actually clean your shower a couple times, every few months or every few weeks or whatever, however gross your shower gets, right? I don't care if you pee in your shower. If there's a pipe that connects to the sewer and you pee into it, I don't care, whatever. But I watched the video the other night, the fabled, rumored, him peeing in the basement thing, and here was the context of that clip. He was live streaming Fall Guys at like 2 o'clock in the morning while completely shit-faced, completely drunk, talking about how his wife went out to pizza without him at 2 o'clock in the morning, or she was still out at 2 a.m. without him, and he was all miserable and grumpy and drunk, and he had to pee really bad, and so he got up and staggered off his stream after saying he had to pee like 1,000 times, and eventually just peed in the basement, right? That's where the entire thing came from. My wife went to get pizza without me, and I'm pretty mad about it. I think I'm going to pee in the basement. Right. And then after like an hour of saying, oh, I got to pee so bad, because he was shit-faced. He was totally drunk. He eventually goes like off camera and pees in his basement. So if you just were like in an unfinished basement or you're out in your backyard and you take a whiz, I don't care. Does he require diapers? He might. I couldn't care less if you go out in like, I've got trees out here. I have neighbors, so that'd be kind of awkward. You'd have to position yourself so you're not flashing your neighbors. But if you pee in your backyard, I don't care. Whatever. But yes, that was the context of that clip. So there's a lot of these. He got beat up by a transgender person. He crapped himself at a Walmart. Like, there's all this deep lore of Jeremy besides all the things he said on his live streams, right? He said, that's fine. It's just the insane lies that I thought might end at some point. Sadly, they just keep ratcheting them up. And now that I responded poorly, more folks are getting involved in cementing this garbage as fact. I've definitely done some cringe stuff worth making fun of. And we all have. Let's be honest. We've all peed in a sink when the toilet was out of order. I don't know if I've peed in a sink. Maybe. I've certainly peed outside when the toilet didn't work, for sure. 100%. Guess it depends. Oh my God, Susano. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm a little young for depends. No, his basement doesn't have a toilet. This was like 5 or 6 years ago, I guess, maybe longer than that. And his basement had like a drain, like a pipe, like a drain pipe in it that he could pee into. Can I use the bathroom, please? Jeremy's drunk brain. It was so weird. It was so uncomfortable watching that clip. You know, find a tree, who cares? Yeah. As far as the actual act of pee, for me, it was weirder that he did it on stream, that he just didn't go upstairs to use the bathroom and pee, or that he didn't just go outside and pee. The whole thing, it was the entire awkward, cringe, disturbing, and then knowing that it's after he was drunk and his wife was out at 2 a.m. without him. It's like, okay, there's some weird stuff going on. This was years ago. And then, of course, I think Hillary Crowder, I don't care which side of the Crowder debate you're on, whether you think Steven Crowder did nothing wrong in his divorce from his pregnant wife or that he was an asshole. I don't care. My opinion is there's some weird stuff there. I think he might be in the closet. I don't know. The Crowders, I don't have any opinion on that one entirely, other than the entire situation watching the footage was kind of awkward at the time when he and his wife had that big blow up when she was pregnant and he was just being an ass. But I guess years ago, Hillary Crowder, after that entire situation, said basically, well, Jeremy's marriage is a sham. They're keeping up appearances like they're some happy couple, but basically they're basically not married at this point. You can start a Porta John brand. Just pee in the bottle, pee in a bottle, pee in a can. Yes, Susano, he actually did that while he was streaming. If you're mad at your wife, you pee in her shampoo bottle. Oh my God. Oh my God, no. Disavow entirely. No, absolutely not. All right. Says the shitty part of it, sometimes almost nothing said about me is being presented. Okay, this is the part that made me react, right? He says, this is the shitty part of it sometimes. Almost nothing said about me is being presented in good faith, but I gotta let it ride and not spurg out. So for that, I apologize. So he's claiming basically that everything is being presented in bad faith. Nothing's being presented about me in good faith. Okay, what is not being represented in good faith, right? All the allegations, the coincidences, his friend of 10 years, he admits he has a swinger friend, claims he doesn't know about his friend being a swinger, but it's his friend of 10 years. His friend spends all of his time at his house. The swinger guys, the swinger friend Adam, apparently has like a $1.5 million mansion in Wisconsin, which if you're in Wisconsin, $1.5 million, you'd buy a hell of a house, especially if you're not in like Madison or Eau Claire or Green Bay or something. If you're out in the middle of nowhere, that's going to be a nice ass house, right? Yet he still, apparently, Jeremy hired this guy's wife to be his house cleaner, then talks about wanting her to come over so he can see her boobs in his hot tub. Like the whole thing is very, very, very awkward, right? It's very, very strange. It's creepy. Okay. But he says it's all being represented in bad faith, all right? Comment sections have been wild and I made it worse. Please don't bother engaging with this stuff. Everything's going to be fine. I apologize for my part in making it worse. They'll see this post as yet another epic win in their twisted fantasies, but for this post is for people who actually watch the show. Now, if you go and look at his actual chat for his live streams, he claims he gets like 10,000 viewers on Rumble, but his chat doesn't move. He streamed a kick last night, pissed off about this entire situation, probably drunk, I don't know, and his chat didn't move other than people trolling him. He switched his chat on Kick to subscriber only mode, paid subscriber, because on Kick it's not a free subscriber like YouTube, it's a paid subscriber versus a follower, and the chat didn't move afterwards. That's actually illegal to do, joke or not. Didn't realize he's actually a business risk. What are we talking about? What's the business risk that we're talking about, Susano? I must have missed it. I've got a little bit of Irish cream in my coffee, guys. I'm not drunk. I'm not an alcoholic. I don't drink. But it's Friday night, and I'm like, okay, in honor of Jeremy, our resident boomer YouTuber, raging alcoholic, I'll put a splash of Irish cream in my coffee. To talk about an employee. Oh, you're saying if he's paying her as a cleaner and then tells his friend to bring her over so he can look at her boobs in the hot tub. Yes. Yeah, that would be some sort of sexual harassment from an employer, right? Well, here's the crazy thing, Angels of Destiny. So let me show you guys real quick. I have got Brittany Venti's Substack saved for after we get done. She put a lot of these video clips in the Substack, a lot of the screenshots, a lot of the messages, the DMs with Josh Moon from Kiwi Farms. A lot of this stuff is in here, okay? It's not the full like Google Doc that I've seen people using, but it's got a lot of stuff in there. That being said, talking about the Nick Rekieta situation, he actually on a stream said that it wasn't a big deal that Nick Rekieta was essentially having another woman service him, because that's not an own. You've got some other guy's wife that wants to do things to you. Cool. We drunks don't claim him. Again, I have to be very, very clear. I don't condone alcoholism. If you drink, you drink. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. I just don't drink. Like for me, drinking is like 1 or 2 beers on a nice hot summer day, and then I might go weeks or a month without even having alcohol again. So that being said, let me see here. He says, I'm human. Sorry to say, a pretty boring one despite what you might hear or see on the internet. Sorry to report, I do not in fact have a Jewish bull. My female coworkers love working together and we're all friends. I don't have any prior or current employees under NDA. People thought that Sydney Watson, who used to work with him, might be under NDA, but she told one of the guys on Kino Casino that she doesn't actually have an NDA from Jeremy. She has one from Elijah Schaefer. So different situation. Says just about everything you see or hear isn't true, or it's purposely warped. So which one is it? Is it not true, or is it just not the version of the story that he wants to have told? I'm going to lean with the latter. I think the problem with Jeremy isn't that people are saying lies about him. I think it's that he knows that the narrative is true in some capacity, but he doesn't want the story being told in a way that makes him look bad. Oh, a Jew bowl? No. It's really simple. A Jewish bowl is not a different type of thing. The bowl. So I'm gonna have to explain this to Mari now. God, I feel so bad. Mari, this is why I say I feel terrible having to explain these things to you. I want you to stay pure of heart and mind. But a bowl is a man who is recruited to sleep with other men's wives. That is this swinger friend. He's a Jewish bull because he's apparently an Orthodox or ethnic Jewish man. Now, Jeremy has talked about bringing this man to church, okay? That he has brought his Jewish friend, Adam, to church to become a Christian. Jeremy also told Josh of Kiwi Farms that after this, he had no connection to this guy, no association with him, and then on live stream last night, told his friends that he'd be playing darts with him next week or something. I'll shut up. No, you don't need to, man. Maybe didn't want that answered after all. No, so the Jewish part of it means bull like a cow, Mari, like a male cow, a bull. I don't know why that term gets used for that particular bedroom activity, why the man is called a bull, but that's if you have a weird fantasy of finding another man to have relations with your wife, they call that man a bull. You go find a bull and he has relations with your wife. Yes. So that's just, I don't make up the terminology. The internet's a wild place. It is what it is. So Shoe on Head got on him. Basically everybody got on him. Oh, Karlin Borisenko, she's mad at him, but she's a psychotic, demented, twisted, evil, vile woman. I don't even need to go into details about her. That'd be a whole different stream on its own. Karlin is a mess. But yeah, basically everybody crapping on him. Josh Moon even got on in his replies and told him basically, this is not an apology, Jeremy. This is you not understanding how to apologize. So, the quartering blocked me. Still minority, right? I mean, wait, even you didn't know that, Cage? What? Jeremy once told me that he only has sex with men because women have sex with men, and that's gay. What? All right. So I replied to this because I really didn't like the way that he had responded or the way that he had worded things, right? So here is my response. Blocked and hidden reply. I was one of the first people to reply to him, and because I was going to ratio the hell out of him, he decided to block me and hide my reply. I quote tweeted him and said, or I quoted him and said, almost nothing said about me is being presented in good faith. And I said, okay, let's recap. You feigned ignorance as to your friends' swinging activities while simultaneously saying, I have friends who are swingers, and telling him you want his wife's big boobs in your hot tub. You openly fantasized about being cuckolded by Gina Carano and having babies with Brittany Aventi. Now, the Gina Carano thing, no way Jeremy's bull for his wife is a Jewish man. Jeremy's trying to convert him. I mean, dude, it's a weird, it's a weird situation. This entire thing is a very weird dynamic. So Gina Carano, the actress who, this goes back to Jeremy lore from like 2021 or 2022, might even be more recent than that. Gina Carano, former MMA fighter. She got a role on The Mandalorian as Cara Dune. Decent role, decent show. I thought Mandalorian season 1 was fine. Decent, popcorn show with your kids or whatever. It was whatever. She got fired for, speaking out politically. Of course, it was against the other side of Hollywood, so she got canceled. And Jeremy, when she got hired by the Daily Wire to make some terrible movie, Jeremy flew to Montana to interview her. Ever since, he had like this weird, morbid fantasy, and basically he was like lusting after Gina Carano, right? So on a live stream, he talks about how essentially he wants to be in a romantic comedy with Gina Carano where she's sleeping with all these big, hot, buff MMA guys, and he's the nice guy friend that she never is interested in. But at the end of the movie, she realizes that Jeremy's been there for her all along, and then she ends up with him. This is something the man actually said during one of his live streams, that in his world, he would make a movie with Gina Carano where she treats him like a cuck, because it's essentially a cuckold. He's like the gay best friend. He's just the nice guy that she has no interest in, and basically, she goes and sleeps with all the good-looking buff MMA fighters. And then he's just waiting there at the end after she's been plowed by guy after guy after guy. That's essentially what he was saying. So you tell me. I said you joined in on dogpiling Jack Murphy for being a grifting cuck, going so far as to share his content. Now, if you don't know about that, I don't really want to get into it. Yeah, I don't think Drunk 3PO and her are an actual couple. I mean, to be honest, I look at a woman like Gina Carano and I'm like, how could she be with a guy who can't physically be like, I'm not going to say beat her up because a guy shouldn't beat up a woman, but you know what I'm saying? She's a female MMA fighter. She's in very good shape. Why would she... Look, Drunk 3PO is probably a nice guy, but he looks a little soft. I'm not going to lie. He looks a little soft. Right. I prefer sumo wrestlers, well-mannered, super traditional. Yeah, there you go. Before Trump's election, because he did the typical anti-leftist videos and stuff, but now he's just being pro-Trump. Trump can't do anything. And here's the thing, people. I voted for Trump 3 times, and I'm not happy with everything Trump's done along the way. There have been plenty of things for the past 12 years. Obviously he wasn't president for 4 of those, but you get my point. Whatever. However many years it's been. 2015, I voted for him. 2016, that's right. 2017. So 2016, I voted for him. I wasn't thrilled with Trump the first time around. I was happier to reelect him the second time, although we were in the middle of the COVID shit, and I wasn't happy with how he responded to that either. And this time around, in my opinion, has not been good. People need to be able to be honest and be able to be like objective and say when something sucks. Okay. But no, you're right. Right now, he's basically acting like Trump can do no wrong. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. Better off than Kamala. Yeah. To a degree. To a degree. 3-time voter, too.
Right now.
Oh, Cezanne, I appreciate you, buddy. No worries. Thank you for the 333. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, Jace tall but not in great shape. That's what I'm saying. I just think if Gina Carano was going to be with a guy, it would be somebody who's at least physically on her level. And I'm not saying that as any shade for Drunk 3PO. I'm sure he's a nice guy. I don't really watch his content. What did you say? I'm talking Jeremy Quartering. Oh, you mean people? Oh. Well, no, Jeremy the Quartering has been massively pro-Trump on everything. It's crazy. To the point where I'm like, dude, Trump farts, and Jeremy's like, see, guys, I told you he could fart, right? You know? Let me see. A rational person sticks with their values, doesn't stick with a random politician or everything. Right, Oblivion. No degree. If Kamala won this country, it would have been effed. I mean, guys, I want to say I agree with you, Shane Grayson, but at the same time, I also feel like, I don't know, this. Let's not get off topic. we could do an entire stream talking about. Yo, I got 3. Hang on, we got 3 bots on Kick. 3 bots on Kick, all trying to sell me bots. That's crazy. Miss K wasn't going to be better. I don't think she was going to be better. Wait, is Kino Casino Clips the main channel? That is their main upload channel on YouTube, as far as I know. I don't think the Cathedral. I don't know how many channels they actually have, but their primary, revenue source, their primary channel is Kick, their live stream. Anytime Trump says anything, does anything, picks his nose, tugs one out, D-Day instantly starts up a stream. Oh man. All right, guys, I appreciate all the takes on Trump, and maybe some other time we can talk about all that. But I want to stay on topic here. Just want to stay on topic, because again, I probably agree with like 90% of everything you guys are saying right now. All right. So I said, instead of, I brought up the Jack Murphy thing. Because Jack Murphy, the liminal order guy, you guys remember back when he was a part of Timcast, the guy with, again, the two-tone beard. He was all like the alpha male. He was one of these guys. He wanted to be Andrew Tate, right? Andrew Tate was so happy when Jack Murphy got brought down because his competition got squished. And so Jack Murphy got outed as a former adult film star who basically made all sorts of content debasing and humiliating himself in all the worst possible ways, right? And the Quartering was more than happy to reshare all of his videos on Twitter. As I recall, he did that multiple times where he shared images, if not videos, of Jack Murphy doing all sorts of sordid things as an own on Jack Murphy, calling him a cuck and everything else, right? So again, if you're going to dish it out, you got to be able to take it. It looks like Jeremy won this. I'm an objective observer. I hate both of them. Well, fair enough. Speaking of, I had a big arch today from Mickey D's. I had McDonald's for dinner. Okay, so pat on the back. I want to address something. Mari earlier in the chat said something about being a good father or whatever. Contrary to what the Quartering probably thinks, you don't have to have $10 million in the bank and have everything lined up and perfectly, like all your ducks in a row to be a dad. I have 3 kids. I was coaching my daughter's softball team till 7 o'clock at night. That's why we had to stop and grab McDonald's on the way home. You can be an imperfect person and still be a decent parent. But all this talk about how he wants to be a dad and hopes he has a family, it's like, dude, you're 44 years old and like 500 pounds. There's just no way that's happening at this point. But regardless, hey, Richie. Let's see here. Wish you didn't remind me of the fake Jack Murphy. The real one is a former... Dude, I know. That's the craziest thing. If you Google... I trust your judgment. If you recommend me to leave, I do. Oh, no. So, Mari, I'm not going to get into all the weird Jack Murphy stuff that he did. All I'm saying is this man, the Quartering, the YouTuber, he dished out a lot over the years. And it seems that he can't take what he was dishing out now that the shoe is on the other foot, right? I said, now that the shoe is on the other foot, you're probably regretting it. Instead of addressing things openly, you tried to use your influence to strong-arm Josh from Kiwi Farms, and he did. He tried to use Josh, the founder of Kiwi Farms, as like a moderator, and basically saying, hey, tell these guys if they want to play nice, they just can't talk about me anymore, and I'll let them keep their channels, and they can do whatever they want to over there, but I'm just going to, if they don't listen to me, they're going to get nuked, right? So yeah. So I said, into pressuring PPP and Eddie Worski into silence. You also went running to their boss, the CEO of Kick, Eddie, to try and get their channel deplatformed. Something you have previously denounced when it happened to you. And just a few weeks ago, somebody actually shared a screenshot of Jeremy complaining that somebody went running to Chris Pavlovsky, the CEO of Rumble, to try to get him taken down, right? And he's like, oh, this is a bitch move. This is just terrible. You shouldn't do this stuff, right? And then, of course, I'm like, yeah, it's a bitch move. You claimed your wife is living in fear, yet your own co-host, and this was a very interesting clip that somebody shared. Hannah Claire, his co-host, who seems like she's all right. Melanie Mac is a retard, but Hannah Claire seems okay. He was on stream after admitting that, or saying that his wife is living in fear from all this conversation harassment that he claims she's getting, using her entire like full legal name, talking about her again, claiming she's in fear, but in his stream acting like there's nothing wrong at all. And Hannah Claire, his co-host, had to tell him to shut up. Had to tell him, dude, why are you doxing your wife on air? And he's like, oh, my bad. I shouldn't have done that, right? Chris won't take Jeremy unless he starts putting... Oh, yeah. That's one of the only ways Rumble will slap you down. So happy to hear that opinion on Melanie Mac. Susanna, are we talking about... Melanie Mac sucks, man. There's nothing redeeming about Melanie Mac. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. That's just... I have nothing nice to say about Melanie Mac. I just flat out don't. A couple years ago, I would have defended her, but the more that I've watched, the more that I've seen, the more I've heard from her, every bit of her, she just seems fake to me. 1,000% fake. So, I said you claimed your wife is living in fear. Your own co-host, Hannah Claire, had to tell you to shut up when you were doxing your wife on air. You even admitted, and he did, he admitted this in the DMs with Josh Moon, that Ashton and Andy can't really be considered a threat. Josh Moon's like, you know, man, he's a fat guy in Canada in a bunny suit because it was Easter or whatever. And he's like, I don't think he's a threat. And Jeremy's like, LOL, yeah, you're probably right about that. Okay. I said, this is a monster of your own making, and no one's going to shed a tear for you. And then for that, he blocked me. And I'm like, all right, fair enough. But at least I got my say. So, of course, these are all hidden replies. All of these down here are hidden replies. The man went through, he even hid Josh Moon. He hid Josh Moon's reply. The man who actually talked to him in DMs and tried to reason with him, tried to explain to him, dude, you don't want to do this. You don't want to do this. Yeah, Hannah was on Timcast. Yes. Jeremy impression's perfect. Maybe I've just watched him for too long. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's all entertainment. Not that I need to say that. Just what happens when people are on the internet too much. I mean, Susano, this should make people take stock of how much they share online, you know? And again, this was Josh's response, trying to essentially explain to him what went wrong with his entire response to the situation, right? All right, so moving on, here's where we are today, seeing as this has been like the main topic and it's like an hour in and we haven't even gotten to it yet. Tricked to sound exactly like Jeremy to talk with a mouth-breathing accent. Yeah, you're not wrong about that. All right, so Andy Worski came out here and said, the quartering got my channel. So he's not just talking about Kino Casino. He's talking about his own personal channel as well that was unbanned 6 months ago, banned as well. The channel doesn't say terminated. It just shows this page is not available. Team YouTube, this is an attack from a YouTuber who claimed he was going to use a YouTube manager to get us flagged, retweet everyone. And again, this is exactly what the quartering said. So here is Andy Worski talking about it.
Hey everyone, as you all probably seen, the Kino Casino clip channel was flagged down by the quartering. He's actually bragging about it right now by showing cards
DB,
on
oh my
his
God.
main Twitter page. You know, and we weren't banned off of YouTube. We weren't ban evading. You know, I was unbanned. I tweeted about this 3 days ago and I put the link. Well, someone just sent me a little tweet there and I checked the link. Not even terminated, just it's not appearing now. Okay, so he flagged or got this removed. My Andy Worski channel that was unbanned 6 months ago, got that banned, and the Kino Casino clip channel, even though we were unbanned.
So the quartering mentioned the whole ban evasion thing. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Dude, this is where I am basically like, I'm illiterate when it comes to internet lore. I have to learn after the fact. I didn't know who Andy Worski was before probably 2 months ago. I mean, I heard the name. I had, you know, the name was something I'd heard before, but really it was one of those things where it's like, I didn't really have a face to put to with the name, you know. So in that regard, I had no clue who he was. And then I looked him up. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I understand who he is and why, right? Hella old names though. Well, that's because Susano, typically it's the ones that are like the more recent, like, oh my god, I go on Rumble to set up my stream, and freaking Jack Doherty, that like 22-year-old curly-haired retard Gen Zer, is on Fresh and Fit with Myron Gaines. I'm like, oh my god, who watches this? I fail to believe that anybody actually watches that. Full on Hypocrisy, my channel's under attack. Meanwhile, he attacks other channels. Oh, we'll get to that. We'll get to that, dude, for real.
Everyone, could you at Team YouTube for us and let them know that this is ridiculous and that we are appealing this, obviously. We're going to be on Kick here. I'm actually a minute late for starting the show. So, yeah, guys, we'll see you all on Kick.
Jack Doherty never had a brain, Richie. That's the problem. He was born without a brain. And too much money and no common sense. So when he talked about the Banavision thing, this is something that Jeremy had stated before, that Andy Worski is Banavating. Okay. So what happened is when YouTube brought back a lot of people, I need a cage match with Laura Loomer and Marjorie Taylor Greene this year. Oh my God. This is the crazy part. Try being a conservative. And I'm not even saying that as like a meme. I mean, I'm generally conservative, right? And looking at people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Laura Loomer and going, I don't like either one of you. Oh my God, it's crazy. Jack Doherty on Fresh and Fit sounds like an FBI psyop. You're probably not wrong about that, Shane Grayson. I mean, for real. No, I knew what you were trying to say. That one I was actually able to figure out on my own. No clue who this dude is. Cage, he was apparently, 7 years ago, Andy Worski apparently was addicted to cocaine or something and basically homeless. But, you know, here he is now. The point is, what I was saying before, is that he got banned on YouTube. I guess the other host, the big fat guy of Kino Casino, PPP, he got banned as well multiple times. I guess he had multiple channels taken down. They were all reinstated. 6 months ago when YouTube brought a lot of people back on, when they got rid of a bunch of channel strikes and I guess channel terminations and brought a lot of people back. So neither one of these guys is evading a ban. Furthermore, their Kino Casino Clips channel is run by the editor. It's not run by either one of them. So there is no ban evading going on. I mean, in respects to what a conservative is, I don't think they'd even be doing this kind of work. I mean, who knows, dude? Even if they did, they wouldn't be the takes. They can't seem to keep their private life private, which is kind of core to the idea behind it. Right. Yeah, I mean, really, it's like what are you conserving? I guess you could say morally conservative, traditionally conservative. I don't know. Like, you were going to go off into the weeds if we try to analyze that too much, right? He tweeted this out. Quartering has flagged the Kino Casino Clip channel under the guise of ban evasion when nobody, including the owner of the channel, is ban evading. It's hard to ban evade if you're not actually banned, right? He flagged again Team YouTube, an attack on us and false flag on our channel. This is the channel that was false flagged. Nobody was ban evading and our content was within YouTube's terms of service. Let me see if the channel still pops up as count is in violation of YouTube's terms of service right there. It's just crazy. All right. And then, of course, this is where Brittany Venti said that this is ridiculous. The Quartering rallied his audience to get them banned and that's just okay. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, I did not want to see that. All right. Moving on. Now the Quartering response to this has to be playing victim. Let me bring this up in a separate tab so I don't lose where I'm at. Okay. In fact, I'm going to pull up his Twitter account, too, to follow up with this. As of 6:23 my time earlier. I'm a Spooky Kitty. I cover a lot of, like, gaming news and stuff, occasionally drama. Not really, like, hard political takes or anything like that. I mean, like, I'll cover, like, the elections if there's, like, a national election going on. Sometimes I'll do a live stream for that. Mostly just, like, videos and stuff, like gaming stuff. Occasionally a gaming stream. Jeremy from the Quartering, rich guy begging for money. Spooky Kitty, you don't have to sub, like, for real. If it's not your kind of content, please. I understand it's all good. I appreciate you hanging out and talking, you know? Totally up to you. So, Quartering says, in the last 5 hours, people have shown up at my house. Caller ID blocked numbers have called both mine and my wife's phone. My channel has received multiple reports. I assume this is because I made fun of Israel deranged people. This stuff's insane. What? Level-headed takes on gaming news? I appreciate it. All right, you just might disagree with my opinions from time to time, but I do try to be fair. I try to be fair. I might have a hot take here or there, but I do try to be fair. So, let me see here. Haven't seen receipts on that, to be clear. That's what I'm saying. I haven't seen any receipts at all. Let me see here.
Thank you very much, sir.
Oh, appreciate you,
You're
Spooky
a
Kitty.
gentleman and a
All
scholar.
right. Says people have shown up at my house. Caller ID blocked numbers. 2 in the last 5 minutes. I thought flagging channels was an unforgivable sin. Okay, again, are you now saying that it's okay to flag channels? I'm really confused. Oh, dude, you're not wrong, Lixelplix. It is crazy. Yeah, but Mari, I don't really upload to that. The whole plan was to eventually do like hour-long segments a couple times a week on like pop culture, news, politics, whatever. You know? I was going to try to do a horror/history-based channel, but Dude, I mean, horror and history go together, but only for the wrong reasons. Okay, no idea who this is, but some folks are trying to take my channels down. Very curious behavior. From calendars.com LLC. That's strange. Now they're posting pictures of my house on X. Ha 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 ha. This is why you don't live by the standards psychos on the internet say you're supposed to. Now they're trying to hack my X account. Let me see. This guy says, word going around tonight is that you had Kino Casino's YouTube channel nuked. That's likely what's going on here. He claims I had nothing to do with it. I was at dinner all night. Pretty sure they taunted the public, telling people to flag them. I have already shown I didn't. They really want it to be me. Sadly, it wasn't. Because he's like chatty and stuff. I try to be chatty and stuff. You call law enforcement and your phone company for this. This can be mitigated if people are doing it. What the filters are for on your phone and whatnot. Yeah. Not even passing a sniff test. Well, it's really weird, too, because it's like when you got the whole situation where he's like, oh, you got people harassing my wife, and it's like the only person that's making his wife look bad is him. It's like, this is hard to believe. It's a hard thing to understand. Dan Craig. Wait, are you saying I'm Craig from like the brute meme Craig? Are you what? Don't be calling me Craig. No, man, huh? All right, so what has the Quartering posted recently? I love that people are asking for a community note on this. I don't think they've provided any actual detail. Yeah, you know, people do this all the time because I'm part of community notes. They'll be like, they've requested a note, and it's like, well, what am I supposed to write? No, oh, no, they didn't. Like, okay, guys, you have to give me something to work with. I can't just write, like, fill in your own response there. Like, no, dude, get the hell out of here. Whatever. Oh, side scroller Craig. Okay. Unless you're saying Daniel Craig, which I would take Daniel Craig's physical body, not the actual man. He's pathetic. If Michael Scott was left in the dryer for too long, oh my God, dude, you're not wrong about that. Okay. If he misses you, don't take it personally. You know what, man? It's just that sometimes on a good night, I won't have time to read out loud every single thing that people write. But I try to acknowledge it, like I'll scan, and if it's something that's actually asking for a response, I will try to respond to it. That's all. Anyways. Oh, I can't skip ahead. Hang on. This is just too good. This is too good. All right. So Brittany Venti, who's been going scorched earth on him, says you encouraged for the Kino Casino to be deplatformed in public and said you'd use your connections to take everything. You have 2 million subs on YouTube, broadcasted this to your audience, and refused to apologize to them. Yeah, but I don't believe he actually has... Like, he's got 2 million subs, but, I mean, his videos are pulling like 40, 50,000 views a video because people are sick and tired of his bullshit. So, on top of that, his live streams are gone, dead, like, in the toilet. Nobody watches his crap anymore. So I don't know if I could say use the whole 2 million sub thing as a way of saying, well, look at your influence. Okay, so he's a big creator, so clearly he has contacts at YouTube. I mean, sure, I guess. Low emotional investment coverage. I mean, that's actually not a bad way to put it. I don't like to be heavily emotionally like, No, for example, I love a lot of the video games that I've covered, but it's like I'm not going to be angry about it. I was thinking about this whole trolling thing, right, guys? The claims of harassment and all this kind of stuff. I'm not sure how many of you guys were here a couple weeks ago. I had that dude, Pod Awful podcast dude. He brought his bots in here. He brought all of his angry 20 followers in here, and they were all spamming the chat trying to get me my channel flagged and all this sorts of shit for like an hour. And I just kind of put up with them until I was like, okay, what I'm noticing a trend, and you guys are trying to get my channel flagged by YouTube. That crossed a line, you know? That's one of those things where it's like, you know, it's one thing to just let you guys troll and I can just laugh about it and move on. But once you've actually established a pattern that you're trying to get my channel attacked and flagged and all that, it's like, no, then you're all banned. It's like that crosses the line there. One step up from Jarbo. You know the funny thing, Joe Darkness? I have seen a lot of people talk about that. Were you not here, Richie? Oh, it was crazy. It was after I had a marathon coverage video that did really well. And so while it was trending, people were brought in to the channel, and it wasn't even marathon fans. It was this guy who tries to start creator beef because he's a drama channel. All he has is like he wants to fight with people. And he tried to essentially use bots to flood my channel and basically report it to the YouTube algorithm, whatever, because they're putting random words in the chat, right? It's just a bunch of random words, and I'm looking at it going, none of this makes sense. And eventually, I think it was Equilibrium pointed out, he's like, they're trying to get the channel flagged by just posting spam, is what it was. So, want to buy my coffee? No, I don't want your coffee. I want you to buy my tea, because I took all these pictures myself. And I will put your tea in a bag with these two hands right here. These two clean hands washed with clean utensils. I want you to buy my tea. That's what I want. Not coffee. If I wanted to, I could buy a coffee roaster and try to figure out roasting my own beans. And good God, that is the last thing I need to do. Although I would love to roast my own coffee. That would be amazing. That would be incredible. Hey, Empress. Can I get your tea with dirty hands? You have to pay extra for that. What happened? I sleep in Kino Casino gets banned from YouTube. So Empress, Jeremy's claiming it wasn't him. Jeremy is claiming it was not him. Oh my God, guys. Like I said, I'm moving so much stuff around at work, trying to get ready before the summer kicks in. So I'm like moving all of my shipping stuff out of the office, and I'm trying to set the office up to be more of a shoppable area. And I'm going to go to work tomorrow, even though it's not technically a work day, because I'm like, I need to go clean up my mess before Monday kicks in. Can't be any worse than Starbucks. No, dude, Starbucks coffee is the absolute worst, man. It was horrible. Ornamental bug. Oh my God. No one's done that? I'm sure Amaranth then. Oh no, Empress, it was absolutely somebody connected to Jeremy. Come on. Nobody likes Jeremy that much. It couldn't have been like one of his viewers. No way. Oh my God, it's funny how Side Scrollers was just saying last week how the right wing doesn't have grifters and then quartering pulls it. I mean, look, I like Craig. I don't know him personally. We've messaged like back and forth once in DMs. It's not like I've been invited on to talk on their podcast. And I understand people who have issues with like the Game Awards, the way that it's being done and all this kind of stuff. I guess this year was a step down from the year before, which wasn't supposed to be the way it was. All that being said, I have no personal beef with Craig, but I think he was dead wrong on that. There are lots of grifters on the right wing. It's crazy. What a crazy thing to say. Absolutely crazy thing to say. Let me see here. If it was just disruptive too, if it's ruining the chat for people with spam, got to do it. Well, yeah, Blithian, like I said, people were like, what about free speech? Okay, free speech is one thing, but it's like that guy that was in here earlier that I believe was just a bot, you know? So it's whatever. Yeah, the right wing has grifters, for real. I mean, come on. So sad, my coffee with Irish cream is almost gone. All right. So she said you broadcasted this to your audience and refused to apologize. So yes, you do have something to do with this woke tard. So now she's calling Jeremy woke. It's just crazy. All right. So here's apparently a tweet from Jeremy earlier today. All right. You've been shouted out. Oh, I didn't know that. As a good dude. Oh, that's cool. Dude, honestly, DB, I didn't even know if they knew who I was. Like, Yellow Flash, I know somebody who people probably thinks a grifter. I don't know. somebody pointed out, I think it was A Vernum sent me a DM about it, that Yellow Flash referred to me by minimal effort on Twitter, not by the username Tebow that I go by on there. So I don't know. I don't, I mean, Yellow Flash follows me, but I think it's more for my, like, my shit posting than anything else. So I don't try to keep track of who's got tabs on me and who doesn't. Guys, back in the day, I was messaging back and forth a little bit with Nick Arcada before all the cocaine stuff, because he seemed like an all right dude.
Thank you very much, sir.
He seemed like a good
You're
dude.
a gentleman
and I'm
a
like,
scholar.
you know, there was one stream. Verdeer Lloyd, is that an, I don't know how to pronounce that name, but I appreciate you for subscribing. Yellow Flash is boring. Yeah, I understand. I haven't watched a video of his in a while. But the crazy thing, my point is, back in the day, I could have just told you that Nick Arcada, oh, he seems like a cool dude. You know, I've talked to him a little bit in DMs. He had this part of a segment talking about marriage and stuff and how great it was. I'm like, that's cool. Nice guy. Yellow Flash is an article reader. You know, guys, I've been there too. I have been there too. The difference is I didn't start off there. It became very easy a couple years ago when YouTube, when Gamergate 2 had kicked off and all the anti-woke content was like all that people were covering, and that's all I was covering for a while. Then it got to the point where I was like, you know, I'm getting bored with this crap. I want to go back to actually editing my videos, you know, still sharing my opinion, not just reading an article, but also like adding a little bit more back into my videos. And that's where I'm at now, where if I don't have time to, I think the David Jaffe thing was the one video I've made recently where I haven't actually edited the video. I recorded it at work. But in general, I'm much happier when I make a video, even if it doesn't do well for views, if I spend more than half an hour recording an article, upload a stupid thumbnail, and call it good, you know? He blocked me because I liked to tweet making fun of him before he hit like. Oh my God, seriously? No way. I like the camaraderie between him and the others on his panel. Yeah, and see, guys, this is where I'm at. It's like, you could honestly tell me that you still like, even if his gaming might be as such. Okay, I'm a much better gamer. I'm a much better gamer than I am a streamer. When I'm not streaming games, I can absolutely do just fine. I can't talk about anything in it, except I will say so far, guys, the Vindictus Defying Fate build that I'm playing through right now, I like. I think I can say I like it. I can't share any other thoughts than that. So, done watching videos about Black Snape. You know, I think I covered the Black Snape thing like 2 years ago, I feel like. It's been forever. All right. So, Quartering posted this at some point earlier today. I could go to his actual account and find it, I'm sure. Had a delicious steak dinner and then maybe the most epic card from... Wait. He didn't even spell it. This man is drunk. From Mr. the Quartering yet? Mr. the Quartering, not Mrs. Mr. the Quartering. I'll take Yellow Flash to stream over Friday Night Tights any day. You know, I watched Friday Night Tights a couple of times and it just didn't do anything for me. And I like Nerdrotic. He's cool. Whatever. Like I said, people watch Critical Drinker. I've never watched a Critical Drinker video in my entire life. Doesn't mean I don't like him. I just have never bothered watching him. Hey, Samuel. Hello from not Australia. I'm on the other side. But welcome in. Birthday weekend kicking off right. Oh, so he's a 44-year-old man that still has birthday weekends. You know why? Because he doesn't have any children. And I'm not saying that as a like to shame people who don't have kids if you've never been married or if you haven't found the right person or you just weren't lucky enough to have kids. Not my point. My point is this man seemingly has more money than God, spends money on unbelievably retarded things, and then will stream and talk about in his videos how one day I hope to have a family. But it's like, the ship has sailed, dude. Ship has sailed far, far long ago. The cuckening, yes. I don't like that Nerdrotic stabbed Doomcock in the back. You know, I used to watch Doomcock, but I eventually got... Doomcock, it was all about the entertainment, right? Oh, Friday Night Tights has got too crowded, for real. I was complaining when I was streaming just with a couple people one time about how I don't like panel shows because it's just too hard to get a word in edgewise. And Hypnotic was like, well, I was going to invite you on, but you said you don't like panel shows. I'm like, well, it kind of is what it is, man. I don't know.
Presents are the best way to show someone how much you care. It is like this tangible thing that you can point to and say, hey, man, I love you.
Are you calling me an Oompa Loompa? Oh, my God, dude.
Okay, tell me honestly,
Shit,
Tina,
man.
what is Willy Wonka like in person? Oompa Loompa Doop Dee Doo. Love the show.
Oh my god. You know, Lixelplix, just for that, I mean, I don't know if I have a good clip or not for that. Let me see what I've got or if my clips are even working. Oh my god. Is this one working?
Wait, back up. Do you think that I'm retarded?
Dude, thank you for the 20. Holy crap, man. And I am not big enough around to be an Oompa Loompa. Okay? The worst I have is a little bit of a squishy, bloated tummy when I haven't taken my Crohn's medication for a while. I'm actually doing 3 or 4 days to take it. But in general, I keep my slim, svelte self in shape. So, dude, thanks for the 20, though. Appreciate you, man. Somebody said, let me see here. They're all fake, so why should you seem like a normal guy? I'm a normal enough guy. I don't like panels of 4 or 5 people. Yeah, for real. What's a birthday weekend? That's a good question. So this is actually my 40th birthday coming up in June. You know what I'm going to do for my 40th? Probably nothing. You know why? Because my wife and I have the same birthday, and I told her, look, let's not do anything for my 40th. I just don't care. For me, it's like I'm already feel 40, so it's not going to make a difference to me. When she turns 40, I'm like, let's plan, you know, we have to recover from moving. I'm still paying off, you know, the cost of moving back in October. This shit's been so expensive. Like life has been, I mean, not to mention business, taking on a new business and getting through the slow months in the winter. I'm like, let's do something for your 40th. We can celebrate on the same time and we'll just make it our joint 40th party. I'm like, let's just do that, you know? Pretty soon kids won't even know what an Oompa Loompa is. Hot take, guys. Hot take. Do not like Willy Wonka. I don't like Willy Wonka, okay? Everyone celebrates your birthday. There you go. I don't, but I'll celebrate the meme. I do love Gene Wilder, though, as Willy Wonka. I do love the character on Willy Wonka. Hate the movie. So when there's birthdays, I just go out to, yeah, I mean, so you can do like a big birthday for like a special, like a 30, 40, 50, those kind of things. I unsubbed from the quartering as I hate the panhandling. You know, Joe Darkness, I stopped watching his videos a long time ago, but I only unsubbed recently because I got sick and tired of seeing his face. It was when I was still trying to figure out why is he still relevant? What is going on with him? And it's like, I went back and counted. In 3 months' time, he had like 15 or 20 videos that all had the title Ice Karen somewhere in there. E-begging is cringe. Guys, come on. I need money. Help. Guys, help. If we can't stream anymore if we don't get enough money. Oh my god, I think I've got one. Oh, this might be the wrong one. I need a new DSP clip. Yeah, that's not the begging one. We'll get the begging one on here. All right. That's more of his, I'll say that for a night that I'm gaming. His phenomenal gameplay. According to my eyes, you're 28. Well, tell that to the hairline that is retreating faster than the French in World War II. Let me see here. The movie is great. Now watching the Johnny Depp remake, though. Angels of Destiny. I love every scene. Thank you, DB Wild. He knows. I love every scene that Gene Wilder is in. I don't like the movie. I don't know. I don't know. Wasn't overly interested in watching it or the remake. Yeah, what about svelte, man? The use of the word svelte. It's a good word. Get the band song as a sound effect on stream DSP song. The banana song, oh my god, I have that recording somewhere. I recorded him singing the banana song. Guys, I have the greatest idea. I could pass for younger? Well, you know, I appreciate that, guys. You know, the trick is I don't smoke and I barely drink. That's about it. I do have, and I need to put this on my computer. This is what I'm going to use when it comes time to announce my birthday stream. I'm going to use, why is this not rotating? Rotate, you stupid thing. What is this doing? Here it is. I'm going to use DSP begging to have Asmongold on his birthday stream last week. That is going to be my stream announcement for my birthday.
Are the best way to show someone how much you care.
The Kim Jong-un
like
thing. Oh my god, that was too funny.
Point to and say, "Hey man,
yeah.
I love you. This many dollars worth."
Did you like that Kim Jong-un meme? Tears of joy, stay well.
Mari, that was awesome. And you didn't have to donate. I know that you're going through it right now, but I appreciate the hell out of you, Mari. Even if the topic tonight is a bit much.
I love
Yo,
you.
Lugia!
This many dollars worth.
The quartering lost
LD.
his mojo.
LD's the goat.
He's not interested anymore. I only watch you in legendary drops.
Dude, LD is the GOAT. Even if I don't watch every video, he actually was my most watched channel last year. Believe it or not, it was crazy. LD's awesome. Yeah, dude, his streams do blow. His streams are terrible. QC, I have super chatted to LD twice, and twice he didn't even acknowledge or read the super chat. You get to that point, and it's like, I get it. Some streamers, like, I don't think Asmongold ever reads a super chat. Whatever, it is what it is. But it's like, I don't know. LD's chat doesn't move so fast that he can't even acknowledge it. It just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I still love his content. Love his videos. I like his takes. No, Mari, Lugia, Lixelplix, you guys appreciate the support. Again, I'm here to have fun and talk about this stuff. You guys don't have to super chat. I mean, just be hanging out's all I ask for. Let me see here. Where were we at? It's funny you say that about his streams, though, because that's how I feel about it. Okay, so the whole point of this was that his whole "you are kind of a big deal" card is kind of a slap in the face, given that he recently has been acting like he has all these connections at YouTube and he can get anybody taken down because he's just the big dog, right? I'm here because you're fun and I'm bored. Hey, it works out for both. Okay, this is the tweet I was talking about. Somebody referencing Matt Jarbo. The quartering becoming the new Matt Jarbo was not on my 2026 calendar LMAO. What did Matt Jarbo do back in the day? DB.
It is like this tangible thing that you can point to and say, hey man, I love you. This many dollars worth.
Don't tell us how to waste our money.
Fine, I'm not going to mention money anymore at all. Okay, we're done talking about money. No more discussion of money. Thank you for the 10, DB. Dude, you've already done so much. I had somebody attacking me over my AI profile picture on Twitter. I'm like, that was made with love, you son of a bitch. Like, okay. Gonna carry that boulder. He nuked a few streamers and then said it wasn't him. Oh, okay. He became woke and then flagged channels. Yeah. No, I know Jarbo. Jarbo has terrible takes. He's kind of a retard. Then what are you guys doing?
Present.
I declare.
Dude, guys, please stop.
Bankruptcy!
You're embarrassing me. Just stop.
Don't tell me to no longer mention money.
Oh my god. Oh no, Lixelplix's 5 didn't get read. Hang on, I think can I Here we go. I can replay that for
Presents are the best way to show someone how much you care. It is like this tangible thing that you can point to and say, hey man, I love you.
Okay, LD's done the same thing for me, but it's like when I super chatted, he didn't read them.
About money?
That was the craziest part. Dude, Lixel and QT Jerks, you guys have been way too awesome. Please, no more. Guys, just wrap it up. We're going to keep talking. No more money. Okay? Pretend that I am like the most financially like sound person on the planet, and I don't pretend I could buy whatever I want. All right. All the love, sweet, passionate, sensual, definitely wrong. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It was the weirdest thing because LD would read chat, like he interacts with his chat, but for some weird reason, like the super chat just didn't get read. I don't know, but you're not QC. I know I'm not. That's not the point. All right. He says, oh my God.
I declare bankruptcy!
Leave them alone. He loves money.
Oh my
Presents
God.
are the best way to show
You guys gotta
someone how
stop.
much you care.
You really have to stop.
It is
You
like
guys
this
are too
tangible
awesome.
thing that you can point to
I'm
and
turning
say,
red,
hey,
not
man,
just from the
I
coffee
love
with the
you.
Irish cream
This
in it.
many
I'm
dollars worth.
this is too much. All right.
K no more.
Rubber Ducky, you're my friend. Never going without a rapper. Just say what? DSP would be e-begging for more. DSP apparently his goal for every stream is like $150, and I'm like, how are there people on the planet who get enough enjoyment out of his content, as miserable and awful as it is, to give that man any money at all? I just don't understand. Like, I get that certain people enjoy the whole lolcow thing, but it's like I would not pay a dime. People did that with the quartering to get him to read the super chats because he wasn't reading anybody's comments in the chat. And then he was banning people after they super chatted. I'm like, you're wasting money to get him to ban you. It's crazy, okay? So the quartering comes back and says, if you're looking for a platform that will support free speech, there is no better place than Rumble Video. And thanks, Lixelplix and Lugia, guys. You're all awesome. He says, I've never had an issue on this platform in 4 years. I'm so thankful they support Free speech. How do you have a goal for generosity? Or do you mean how do you not have a goal? Oh, in my opinion, having goals for donations is gross. Yeah, but that's QC Jerks. It's because DSP, he does it like, okay. It's one thing to be like, you're a streamer. If you're full-time, first off, unless you're Asmongold, unless you're like massive and you make tens of thousands of dollars every month on YouTube or Kick or Rumble or whatever, you should not be a full-time streamer. Nobody should. Now, if you, let's say your spouse works full-time and they don't need your job to be like profitable and you want to do like streaming part-time or full-time, whatever, that's one thing. But people who are like, I've decided I'm going to be a full-time streamer. Well, do you have another job? No. Well, are you married? No. Well, how are you going to pay your bills? Oh, I'm just going to do it through my stream. That's essentially where DSP is at. I don't know if his wife works. I don't know what's going on with that, but he's decided, okay, this is going to be my full-time job. And he's been doing this for so many years that I have to hit $150 every stream. I'm like, I couldn't live with the cost of living in my state. And he lives in Washington, same state as me. I couldn't afford to rent my house and support my 3 kids and wife off $150 a day. There's no way. Couldn't do it. Thought Cat left him. Oh my God, dude, you know more about DSP than me. This is my favorite channel. I'll never admit that. You just admitted it, man. You should bring on Chris Chan. Oh my God. It would be an Only Feet account, man. It would be Only Feet. Basically, Dr. Respect and like 2 others. Who are we talking about? Only big creators from other platforms can hope to... Dude, Rumble... Look, I'm streaming to Rumble right now. You know how many chatters? I don't know how many viewers we have because I don't bother tracking viewer counts typically. Like, right now, if I wanted to actually do the math on this, I think we have, based on Streamlabs numbers here, probably like 20 or 30 viewers on YouTube and probably like 50 or 60 on Twitter, right? And I don't know if the ones on Twitter are actual people. But like on Rumble, I don't even bother keeping track. I have no idea. Don't know. Don't care. It is what it is. It's whatever, right? City's in the Seattle. Yeah, I know exactly what city he's in. And it's not cheap. It's not cheap. Don't count the Rumble chatters. DB, you don't count, man. 41 on YouTube? That's more than I thought. I thought we had less than that and more on Twitter. This is why I don't keep track. I don't care. I remember a couple streams ago, I think Mahendra came in and he's like, wow, low viewer count. I'm like, dude, I don't track the viewers because why would I stress myself out about it? Whether it was 1,000 or 10, I'm still going to be the same person regardless. All right. But yes, he comes out here trying to do a promo in the middle of this entire situation where he's being blamed. I don't count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Are you barefoot right now, DB? Can you count to 10 or are you missing a toe? Even Michigan's getting expensive. Dude, everywhere. You like my viewers more than me. It's not that I don't like you guys. It's I'm not going to be over here like, oh no, we need more viewers. I need more viewers, guys. This isn't going to, like, I have to hit 100 viewers. It's whatever. Been out of work for less than 11 months and I wouldn't e-beg if I had a following. Yeah, dude, the whole e-begging thing. Here's the way I view it, guys. When I say, you know, I appreciate the super chats and those are awesome. And yes, it absolutely does help because shit's expensive. Life is crazy. But it's like, here's what I would rather. I would rather that I get into a good swing with the videos. I shouldn't say swing at all, given the topic. And that the algorithm continues to put the videos out there that I make so that the ad revenue helps support the channel so that you guys don't have to pay a dime out of pocket. That's what I would rather have. It doesn't always work that way. And there are people that have memberships and stuff. And that's why I do like the cheap memberships. Because it's like $3. Not even everyone can afford $3, but it's cheaper than $5, you know? So it is what it is. Grocery prices doubled here. That's insane. It's crazy. He has to be autistic because there's an absence of certain thought processes. I don't know. Donate 100 if you shave your head and face bald on right now. You know, I actually would. I don't know if I'd do it for $100, only because my wife doesn't want me to shave the beard. My head, dude, I'd shave my head bald for... Well, I'm not going to say how much I'd do it for because I'm not doing it tonight because there's not a chance I'm going to get hair all over my office. No, we're not bidding. We're not doing that tonight, guys. There will be no bidding. You guys can figure that out amongst yourselves. I'm not doing it tonight. That would have to be a special... No. Stop it. Not doing that. All right. So he got destroyed in the replies. Smash saying, not helping your situation here, Jer Bear. Kata saying, be so effing serious, man. Deplorable Me says, I'm like the absolute target demographic for Rumble and they can go F themselves for giving you money. Why do you care about free speech? You've never said a controversial thing in your life. You take the most boring, safe position on every issue imaginable. If there's one fault, and only one, if I had to pick one, I can only count to 4. Psycho Stick spoof cover of Let the Bodies Hit the Floor. Dude, Let the Bodies Hit the Floor is awesome. I'm not a swinger. No. Stop it. Stop it. Anyways, the Quartering's biggest failing, in my personal opinion, of all possible failings, is the fact that he has absolutely like no actual opinion on anything and is so worried about being, you know, controversial or saying the wrong thing to get deboosted in the algorithm that, look, you know, when I don't say certain words, I know that I could curse on stream right now, like curse like a sailor, and I wouldn't have any problem. For me, it's just about being palatable. For me, it's just about like, I don't love jumping into a stream and having somebody who's like, fuck, I like not and stuff. That's not how I want to be. Doesn't mean I don't curse plenty in the course of my daily life, and on stream it does occasionally happen. I just don't like doing it. That's that. It's whatever, you know? It's not because I'm worried about dancing around the algorithm. I don't give a crap about that. It's whatever. Anyways, I made Oblivion and a bunch. So Richie, the stream that you weren't here for, I modded up a few more people. The one where we got like inundated with that pod awful guy's retard bots. I had to make a bunch of people mods because it was like, okay, this is becoming crazy. Like, it was insane. Racial slurs does not count as cursing. At least not in my opinion. Not in my opinion at all. Anyways. Oh my god, these guys are crazy. Woo. Oh my god. Definitely stay away from YouTube. Jeremy knows from experience how easy it is to nuke a channel. Just ask Kino Casino. All right. So moving on here. This guy, Tony Go, I don't know, says, yeah, Jerry, remember when you struck other Magic the Gathering channels back in the day because you couldn't take the heat? Now you've terminated Kino Casino clips. You removed a man's income and left his family in need. This is the guy tagging Rumble Video that you push as the face of free speech. What is this? I'm not going to pull up random videos. Let me see here. He's going to be rolling in that complete and total lack of dough. Who are we talking about? Oh, you're talking about me? Meanwhile, you've said some dumb stuff and I'm still here. Fair enough, man. But it's got to be authentically stupid. It's like why Luke Stevens is boring milquetoast. See, I try to balance that. I try to be able to be like, look, when I put out a video, especially about like things like Marathon Today, you know, I try to balance not genuinely telling somebody, if you like this game, you're stupid and your opinion sucks and you shouldn't have the ability to buy video games, by saying, look, you can enjoy the game all you want to. Plenty of people just think it looks like ass. You know, I think that's a fair way of approaching certain situations. I'm not censoring myself. I'm not saying my opinion. I'm just choosing a more tactful way of putting it, you know? Not faking opinions for us to like you. Well, fair enough, because I mean, making people like me is not exactly my strong suit. I curse while on road rage. Thank you, Angels of Destiny. Most of the time, the most profane things to come out of my mouth will always be when I'm driving. Why is that? Why is it that driving and bad drivers will bring out the absolute worst in all of us? What is it? What is about that? Like, I bring more light than heat. Let me see here. Just saying, be fit for the venue. I don't curse on YouTube if I can help it. They're so retarded. Oh my god. You make my butt cheeks quiver, my ass. What? No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. Somebody could clip that, man. Try driving through fucking Dearborn, Michigan. Dude, okay. I live in Washington. It's the same thing, man. Michigan and Washington, apart from the fact that you've probably got like way worse winters and a little bit less rain, they're basically the same state, man. Come on. Let me see. What else we got here? Quarter Pounder calls Rumble free speech and then hides the replies. Oh my god, did he hide replies on that one too? Oh my god, look at that. Huh? Yeah. And of course, look at this. This tweet here from Savvy has 538 likes. I'm guessing that was more than he got, right? Yeah, 236. Can we just say that even if none of the things that Kino Casino have been saying, let's say that everything was taken at the worst possible framing, that his swinger friend had no relations with Jeremy's wife, that Jeremy didn't really have any idea that this guy was a swinger, that none of these things were true, that he just couldn't possibly have known what his friend was up to. Jeremy is taking this and going with it the worst possible way, right? You didn't know you could do that? Yeah, you can hide comments. I've never done it. Straight up, never done it. I've blocked or deleted someone's comment when they were spamming the worst possible kind of content in replies on my tweet. That's like, and then I block bots from people from Michigan. No, but oh, you're talking to DB. Nothing compared to Dearborn, Detroit, heck, even Ann Arbor, Michigan. I mean, we're pretty retarded over here, man. I mean, you got to remember, we have Pirate Software and DSP in the same state. Me as well, dude. So, all right. So, yeah, he hit a bunch of replies on that. Andy Worski says, hey, Chris Pavlovsky. So, again, shoe on the other foot now. He's tagging Jeremy's boss over at Rumble. Says, my name is Andy Worski, part of the Kino Casino show. The quartering was upset we made jokes about him, and he threatened us and got us banned on YouTube by using a YouTube manager. He also got my main YouTube channel banned with no strikes. Here is his threat, and we have a lot more. Please contact me if you'd like. But as a man who's open to free speech, I think you'll understand how this is awful for us. We also followed TOS of YouTube and everything, but he used his million sub channel to get us unfairly banned. Dude, honestly, these guys, yeah, I mean, they would upload a 7-hour stream VOD on their Clips channel, which is insane. And they would take the time to have like an editor or whatever go through and try to clip out as much like TOS violating stuff as possible, right? How does one lose their channel with no strikes? It's a great question. Great question. Not talking about common sense stuff. Why hide comments? It makes you look so bad. It looks retarded because people can just go and see it. People can see it. You're the only Republican in California. Oh, shit. No, I know a Republican in California, but she lives northern. Some of you guys know Moxie Dame, Jess. I met her, God, going back in the whole Nick Recated thing. She actually was on one of his streams one time before she even had like 1,000 subs on YouTube. Yeah, you just you're just not in SoCal. Exactly. It's kind of like, dude, a lot of Washington is not blue. It's just, you got to avoid King County. You got to, and Thurston. You got to avoid Olympia, and you got to avoid Seattle. That's about it. Everywhere else, it's a pretty mixed bag. Let me see here. Oh, yeah, somebody who's been fucked over by YouTube before, Cody Dennison here saying, what he has done goes against everything Rumble's about. Chris is a smart dude. He needs to really read this. Will the fan saying quartering has proven he has nothing to do with the exact ideals that Rumble was founded on. This guy here saying, Chris, I specifically signed up for Rumble Video, ironically, because of Jeremy, to support a platform that protects creators from BS like this on YouTube. I'm greatly reconsidering that now prior to next year's renewal. Imagine, guys, I don't want to crap on Rumble too much because I'm streaming on Rumble. I put my videos on Rumble. I believe in having sites that are alternative to YouTube that are going to allow for live streaming and free speech and free thought and everything else to exist. I think that it's great that we have all these things. The ratio would flip if they did voter ID. Mari, it would flip if we got rid of mail-in voting. I can't vote in person in my state. They've made it damn near impossible. Everybody just sends in their ballot every year, and you hope and pray that it doesn't get discarded. You know? That's, yeah. Anyways, but imagine paying $100 a year for Rumble. You know, once upon a time, I would watch Rumble videos and Rumble streams, but honestly, I'm sorry. YouTube is just better. It's just better. I'm bedridden. I physically go to vote. Well, I don't have the option. My state can't do it. No, not able. In some of the larger counties, I'm talking counties of tens of hundreds of thousands of people, there's no polling place. There's like one polling place, and you have to make an appointment because they're reserved for people who have specific situations, like ailments or whatnot. It's too much data for Rumble for me. Rumble or Kick, what's better? Neither. I would say Rumble over Kick only because Rumble allows you to upload videos, whereas Kick is, don't think about it like Rumble or Kick. think about it as like YouTube or Rumble, and then when it comes to Kick, it's Twitch or Kick. Kick is the non-Amazon. It's like I call Kick like the crappier or like white trash Twitch, right? So I wouldn't say Kick or Rumble. They're both bad platforms. They're both bad options. If you're looking for an alternative to Twitch, that's where Kick comes in. If you're looking for an alternative to YouTube, that's where sites like Odyssey, Rumble, BitChute, that's where all those come in. But again, as somebody who's been uploading to Rumble, Odyssey, and BitChute for multiple years now, all my content, even my content that does really well on YouTube, my videos that don't do well on YouTube, my channels that, whatever on YouTube, that whether they algorithmically get stunted or they go back to growing again, nothing changes on Rumble. Nothing changes on Odyssey. Nothing changes. They're essentially dead platforms at this point, despite people still uploading there. Kick is like Twitch if it was run by mobsters, for lack of better terms. Right, exactly. 100%. So, subscribing to their locals automatically gives you Rumble Premium. That's pretty cool. Please show a Christina Mendez clip. Who the hell's Christina Mendez? And now that they backed off, the need for Rumble isn't as dire. I think Rumble still needs to be a thing. It needs to exist. It's just, it shouldn't be your primary. Look, going to Rumble for your primary source of income or as a creator for your primary platform, unless you've been deplatformed, unless you've violated too many terms of service and YouTube has said we've had enough and you're gone and you have to go to Rumble, then I can understand. Wait, was a blind typo show? I don't know who Christina or who Christina Mendez is. What are we talking about? I don't know who that is, man. I don't know what clip I'm talking about. I might maybe dumb, but what's Kick? Kick is another streaming platform that got going a few years ago that's alternative to Twitch. You remember like DLive, which DLive just shut down. There was Trovo, there was DLive, there was Mixer. All those have been shut down now. Kick is just another platform. No, California's never flipping. It's not. Okay, so let me see here. Next one. Melee Charisma saying it's so clear that the guys on Kino Casino and their editor aren't ban-evading and they were exercising free speech. Clear abuse of tools from the quartering. Letting any of this slide will harms everyone's free speech in the future. Sad to see, of course. Let me see. What else? Oh. Here we got Josh from Kiwi Farms. Christina, I don't know what. Why are you saying this person's name, Cage? I don't know who that is. Okay, I'm gonna look this person up because I don't know. Why? I don't know why, Cage. Christina Mendez. Is that who you're talking about? Christina Mendez? Is she an actress? Mind Control Latina? ASMR brain rot reversion of the MK Ultra program? If she's a stripper, I'm not bringing it up on stream. Who is Christina Mendez and what is Orbology? Content creator on TikTok? Oh, I don't want to bring up a TikToker, dude. Why are you doing this to me, man? With over 130,000 followers between the two platforms, she's an aspiring actress. No stripper on stream, then leaves. Yeah, man, exactly. Is this who you're talking about? Viral mind controlling Latina, Xtina Mendez explained. Bizarre motivational videos started going viral back at the end of December. I don't want to watch this, man. I really don't. I'm gonna hit play on this one here, and I'm instantly gonna regret it.
Nice. You passed. You passed. Yeah. What? You passed. Don't ask what. What? Don't ask what. Look, don't ask what.
All right, I'm done. I can't take anymore. Dude, you don't understand, Cage. My tolerance for TikTok garbage is like literally non-existent. it will cause issues between me and my wife, because she'll start telling me about something that was like some TikToker thing or some viral cringe thing or whatever, and I'm like, nope, I'm done, can't do it. I don't want to hear about it. Sorry, man. That was enough for me. I'm already done. I can't. So there isn't going to be a gratuitous sex scene? No, I don't think so. Oh my God. Patreon was cool because any creator could set up to be monetized with memberships. Yeah, but Oblivion, honestly, Cage, I did play a clip. I played it for 5 seconds. That was enough, man. I have no desire to watch it any more than that. You don't understand my absolute utter disgust for these retarded people that share their little, like when people have I'm sipping my coffee and there's an audio track playing and there's text on the screen and I'm just kind of like smirking. I hate that, man. You want to see nipples? Let me get back in shape and then I'll show you my nipples, okay? My chest is getting a little flat. There's not much here, all right? Anyways. Yeah, Cage, listen to Mari. I lead the topics. Get back in line, Cage. Bad man. I don't use TikTok. Why? Because I'm an adult. Dude, honestly, I would upload to TikTok if I spent more time making shorts. I was talking to, what does he go by on here? I can't remember. It's not Quagmire. Quagamus. What is his name on YouTube? Well, you guys know him in Discord. I think he's Denial of Service on Twitter. I have to keeping track of all of you guys as just, usernames is insane. What did I just hear? TikTok cringe is what you heard. Anyways, I want to see mini nipples. There are websites for that, man. Crap, what was I saying? I'm completely lost now. Thanks, guys. The day in the life videos were great because they all got fired. That's why I'm some variation of DB Wild everywhere. Yeah, but they don't cry when I see it. God, okay, I'm done. Okay, Josh Moon says the Quartering evidently did have a non-Jeet YouTube partner. This was the Quartering's own words, that he had a non-Jeet YouTube manager who could help him out, who can get channels taken down, just as he said. Josh says, I'm sick of living in a world where e-celebs get to decide what can and can't be said about them. We're done with the censorship shit. Fix this. By the way, and then he tags Chris Pavlovsky, CEO of Rumble. It's kind of sickening. You've basically bankrolled this guy to his platforming efforts. One of your main stars is out there tattling to his effing YouTube rep to cover up that he's a cuck. Is the platform free speech or not? Why is the Quartering showing his Rumble revenue? That's crazy. Okay, let's talk about this in two parts. First off, Hannah Claire seems nice. His co-host here, she seems trapped in this horrible circumstance. I guess she's got a baby on the way or whatever, already has a kid. I don't know if she's a single mom or not, but she has to pay the bills. And so sucks for her that she's stuck with Jeremy. Melanie Mac can go suck a rotten egg. I don't give a shit about Melanie Mac. But the Quartering here looks like death. Okay, there are nights where I have like the dark circles under my eye from not getting enough sleep or too much caffeine or too much stress or whatever. He looks completely strung out. Okay, he looks like he hasn't showered in days. But here he is flexing his balance of almost $1 million for Rumble. If he makes that, the rest of us will make 0.1. Yeah, exactly, Empress. That's kind of, you guys know my best payout on Rumble was $120. Do you know how that happened? So back when AI was new and young and a thing a couple of years ago, people were making spicy pornographic videos of Taylor Swift and images of her. It was basically, the popular thing was to meme Taylor Swift into sexual situations, right? And so I made a video covering that on my secondary channel here on YouTube, and I uploaded that to Rumble. On Rumble, that one video, for some weird reason, Rumble decided, okay, this is a good algorithmic video to push, and so they pushed it out there, and it got enough views that I got paid like $120 on Rumble. That is the only payout I have ever had in uploading on Rumble for 5 years. Yeah, 120 Angels, that's a great payout. That's great. I was totally thrilled with that. My point is, if Rumble was my only platform, I upload everything to all my platforms. I don't hold videos off of Rumble. I don't hold videos off YouTube. I upload everything everywhere. That's the only time I've been paid. On Twitch, I've made enough to get a payout on Twitch like twice since 2019. A payout has to be at least $100. At least it used to be. So my point is simply that some of these platforms, while they might work for the big creators who are being paid to promote the platform, who have contracts, again, having a contract is nice because then you're not worried about your actual like ad revenue. You're not worried about memberships. You go, well, I could have a bad month. I could have 2 bad months, but I'm still getting paid $60,000 a month to stream. Oh my God. More than enough to cover legal and PR, that number, even if that isn't an amount that he's keeping in full. Small. Oh yeah, no, dude. Compared to Asmongold making like, I don't know, what did Equilibrium say the last time we were talking about it? Like $130,000 on Kick in 1 month. This is child's play. Rumble does have crap natural discoverability. Dude, that's the same problem that Kick has in as an alternative to Twitch. Rumble has the exact same problem. It's mostly bots on the platform and there's zero discoverability. None. You can get like no discoverability at all. It's terrible. Maybe for the guys, like I said, who are being pushed onto the front page, but for everybody else, it's just not happening. So I guess that's a good flex for Jeremy, though. He's like, yeah, I'm leading the way for free speech. I'm getting paid buku bucks to do it. Stuttering Craig calling him out, saying, don't do this to other creators. That's really messed up. Dragon's Treasure, he hates the quartering. I watched a live stream of his one day where he was going off on the quartering. Cody Dennison pointing out, if the specific allegation of being a cuck bothers him so much, then it's likely true, yeah? Craig says, I'm just getting caught up on all this stuff. It's a lot. There's a lot to go over, guys. I don't blame people for not paying attention. Well, Katsu, he's already a liberal. I saw a YouTuber shared that 3 million views a month is around 32,000. Let me do my own math on this, okay? I can do a pretty, like, I can fact check that pretty well in real time. Let me see here real quick here. So let me go back to my watch hours, or my views, sorry. I'm gonna go back to my views from 2025. Okay, I think, can I go back lifetime? 2026. All right. I think, what year? I think it was 2024. Crap, I can't go back to 2024 on here. 2025, I had almost 1 million views. By that metric, 3 million, or sorry, you said how many million views? 3 million views is around 32,000. Oh, you said 3 million views a month. Oh, well, shit, I can't even fathom that. Yeah, that's crazy. I thought we were talking 3 million views a year. I'm like, that's not even close. There's no way. Because I got 1 million views in 2025, and I'm no, not making that much money. So about Jeremy, the fact that he'll be like, oh yeah, I'm a Christian now, but I'm not a conservative, but I'm also MAGA, but I'm not MAGA, that tells me that he's still a liberal, guys. And I don't care if he is. If he's liberal, he's liberal. That's fine. I don't need him to not be a liberal to know how I feel about specific issues. But it just seems like 1 million. Yes, exactly. Someone has a Cockney accent. You could say they put cock in their mouth. Would you look at that time? At the time, that's all I got for tonight. Oh my God, man. Can you go back to playing Dude, no. Jeremy is even more boring opening shit. I'm also on Odyssey, but I haven't even opened it for years. Yeah, Empress, it's not worth it. It is a waste of time. The only reason I ever upload to Odyssey is because, like, if I upload a video from work, my work internet is way more, like, the upload speed is way faster than at home. It takes like 3 minutes to upload it there. Trend chasing, maybe lots of terms that might apply. There's a lot. All right. So then we got another guy saying 2026 ain't even a quarter of the way over with, and we already have a surefire contender for lol cow of the year. Brie Larson was right about everything. Brie, we're so sorry for how we treated you back in the day. You deserve so much better. Oh my God. I'm Christian but not conservative. Hot damn milk toast fence sitter supreme 100%. Benny Hill. Yeah, I think so. It sounds familiar. Okay. This is great. We saw that fat poo pant man twicked us Brie Larson. That's great. That is fantastic. Oh my god. I'm gonna bookmark that. I love that. That's awesome. The quartering is colluding with Wasson Watch Company. Wasson making up a story about people showing up to his house minutes after he got Kino Casino banned off YouTube. How is it possible that within minutes, Jeremy, I think honestly, like the whole Gina Carano thing, Jeremy probably would have banged Brie Larson. Dude, this is the thing. This goes beyond, okay, I was telling my wife about this. I'm like, here's the thing. Her and I could have a conversation where it's like, you know, you'd be like, oh, that person's hot or that person's not, or, you know, would or whatever. And it's like, you say it in passing and you move on with your day. It's like, we're not so insecure that we can't joke about that kind of stuff. But he honestly says it so much, so casually, like so normally to him that it's like, I'll play the clips for you guys in a minute, okay? We'll get to the clips that Brittany Venti shared. You'll understand. Yeah, one guy showed up and had a total meltdown when I said I was calling the police, beat up red F-150, ran away as soon as I answered the door. This didn't happen. No, sorry, Jeremy. Says, I just sent you a DM proving it. Now, we go to, let me see here. We go to, I think, Nick Monroe. Benny Johnson, leave Jeremy alone. Benny Johnson allegedly is tied up in some weird stuff too. I'm not going to talk about Benny Johnson. All right, Nick Monroe, who actually does actual investigative work, says, I have seen the proof sent to this account Dante Banducci by the quartering. It's exactly one guy with 2 followers, one guy, an actual rando. I even checked at the account, just some asshole. From what I can see, Jeremy is overblowing at least this one case to claim victimhood. That would not surprise me at all. Dragon's Treasure says, this is the core of why I've hated this man for the past decade, and I'm still kind of pissed that people couldn't see this as who he is. It was so obvious that I'm surprised his soul didn't tattoo it on his forehead. At least it's all finally unraveling from him. The enemy within is far worse. So, quartering claim to Josh Moon, he has not been in contact with Adam the Swinger, who's also got domestic abuse charges against him. Says now he's coming over for darts. Jeremy stands for nothing. He's an amorphous blob that only flows down the path of least resistance, literally soulless. And that's what I've said for a while, that Jeremy, he just looks like he has no soul. So here he was telling Josh Moon in DMs, I honestly didn't know about my friend and his shit, LOL. Haven't talked to him since. I had no idea he was such a degen, but Jeremy himself said that a man, let's just be as vulgar and open about this as we can. Nick Rekieta had a live stream before he was arrested for coke, and all the CPS stuff that got involved. And I don't care how you feel about that on one side or the other. That's not the point. The point is, I believe it was the stream where it looked like he was masturbating on stream, and according to Jeremy talking about it, I think if it's the same stream I'm thinking about, he apparently was getting a blowjob from another man's wife under the desk. I don't know if that's the same stream or not. And Jeremy told his co-hosts at the time, who were Hannah Claire and Melanie Mack, that what is Nick Rekieta got to feel bad about? Like that's you know, basically, hey, that he's getting another man's wife to suck him off. Like, no big deal, right? Okay, Jeremy wants that yeast beer. Ugh. All right. So then he calls this guy a degen, his friend Adam. But here he is talking about his friend Adam last night on his stream to 40 viewers who were all giving him shit, right?
Our world, the abyss, and reality itself will unravel. You must restore.
Is Adam coming over tape? No, we have
Guys, I'm sorry it's so quiet. This is just a Twitter video thing. I don't know why the audio is always so quiet. Let me see if I can turn this up a little bit. Now my audio's at 100.
Next week.
I don't know what.
Quote more about Brittany Venti. Nobody gives a fuck about that dumb bitch. Are you joking? You guys do.
That man looks terrible.
She's about 40 and she's still single and childless.
On the fate of your world.
Anyway, it says he's going to go play darts with them, right? Clearly says, you know, here to Josh Moon, I haven't talked to him since, had no idea he was such a degenerate. Okay. Boy Who Cried Wolf, yeah. From the way it sounds, he would be hip humping. Oh my god. It depends on what you're streaming through. Well, what I'm looking at though is like on Streamlabs, every other video I can generally control the audio. It's always, for me, it's always Twitter videos when they're uploaded. Even if my default volume on my computer is turned all the way up, volume on Twitter's all the way up, and my audio on Streamlabs is all the way up, the audio just never gets any louder for me on Twitter. Maybe if I save the video and then uploaded it differently, who knows? Another pump and dump scheme, literally. Oh my God. Now, this is going to take us to what I said, Brittany Venti's Substack article she put out this morning. And the only reason this is relevant, we've already covered all the early details of all this, right? Few Twitter videos I've run into are super quiet. That's kind of my experience with it, right? Always been AI generated controlled op, but even now I considered Hannah Claire to be I mean, I feel bad for Hannah Claire, to be honest. I don't know how much of this. And again, remember, yesterday she was not on his live stream because she was homesick. Now, given the fact that she's pregnant, given the fact that she's made a lot of faces, she was on the stream with him where he opened the pornographic material on his Twitter feed. Remember, he was also the one that had the Reddit search on his Google history for cuck porn or cream pie, whatever, it was just disgusting, right? So given the fact that all these things are what they are, I don't necessarily know that Hannah wants to be around this, other than the fact that he's her boss. Starting soon screen is super quiet on YouTube, but loud as heck on Kick. My starting soon screen doesn't make any noise. That's background music. So I'm not sure about that. My starting soon screen has no audio. It's just a looped video. That's the Pretzel Rocks app through the secondary thing, and that I have no idea why it would be different on different apps or whatnot. All right, the music. Then I know. I'm just being pedantic. I'm being pedantic because I'm sassy. I'm just like Jeremy. I'm female coded today because that's what he told Brittany Venti. All right, so these are the messages between the bull, the swinger, and all the other people that he's talked to in Reddit forums. I can link this for you guys if you want. This is just on Substack for Brittany Venti. It's basically a quick compilation of all the info for this entire thing. And of course, Elijah Schaefer is a whole different topic, but again, very interesting that this is it seems like a lot of the right-wing sphere of political, social commentators are all being exposed to being a sham, right? It just is what it is. This same man, the quartering, wanted to say, oh yeah, I went to, it wasn't Amfest, it was something else where Jack Posobiec and a bunch of other people were present, and I could tell you about these weird sex parties these people are all having that Jack Posobiec, it's like, but he didn't expose anybody. And then here he is with his own seemingly weird situation with his own life, right? So she said, the quartering has a long history of many sins, including major lust towards every woman he talks to on stream, which I have seen the video footage, guys. He does. Every freaking woman he talks to, he is inappropriate with at some point. And I don't mean like inappropriate, like, guys talk like gamer shit and stuff. I'm talking like obsessing over their feet. That one woman that I told you about, this Abby chick that he had on his stream for the very first time, smaller YouTube creator than him. He talked for half an hour before she was on the stream about how she's sitting there without a shirt on and nothing but her bra with her big boobs hanging out, and then brings her on and jokes about her sending him nudes multiple times, even though she brings up that she's married, that she's pregnant, and he's still lusting after her the entire stream. It's just disgusting. All right. So here is the quartering lusting after Brittany Venti, saying he wants her babies when his own wife was not giving him children, and to this day still hasn't.
Let me tell you this
she
about
didn't show
Venti.
as much
I
as
would,
the host do either.
That was
I
loud.
would give everything I had to have babies with that girl.
Sorry, guys, that was
though
very
all
loud.
My kids look like sharks. I'm in. So tell me about the other two types of.
Does your wife know? Does your wife know the quartering we want to have with?
Oh yeah, I'm very open about it. She's cool with it.
Okay. So
the dude is not joking in the sense that, haha, this is funny, this is meant to get a reaction out of you. He's like drunk off his ass, right? So whether he means it or not as a joke, he doesn't deliver it as a joke. Why are people so obsessed with sexual stuff? In this case with the quartering, it's because he's got so much money and fame that he's bored. A lot of people, once they've got to that level of where they're comfortable in life, they have too much money, they have all this shit, they have nothing left. It's why all the elites in the world are all like a bunch of creepy lizard people, pedos, and all that. You can buy silicone babies that look real. Yes, Lixelplix. Unfortunately, I'm aware of that. I have seen that.
I first heard about you when they had Brittany Venti on about 3 months ago, and the news was getting around that you'd been hit by a tranny.
Yeah.
All right, so he's talking to, I don't know if he's talking to Bering. I saw he tweeted earlier today that he's completely like disgusted by what the quartering did, or whoever flagged Kino Casino. But guy says, I had Brittany Venti on a few months ago on his stream, And then he mentions that Jeremy got hit by a transsexual person, beat up by a transsexual person previously. Jeremy's response to this is,
I mean, I definitely want to have sex with Brittany Venti, but yeah, a tranny did hit me.
had nothing to do with his own obsession with Brittany Venti. It was him saying, oh yeah, I got beat up by a transsexual, but yeah, I would totally have sex with Brittany Venti, right? It's like, what did that have to do with anything this guy said? And of course, you've got the Jewish bull. Here we go.
Adam, bro, bring your fucking wife's big old boobs and bring her over to our house. I want you to meet my German shepherds. Adam knows. Adam has my number. He's super chatted. That's why he's a real G. Peanut Princess, I'm up in Oshkosh. We're all about beer and Delta 8. Yeah. Adam Sellers, it's 9:20. I think you could be to my house by 10. I want to see your wife's big old boobs at my house in the hot tub. Hot tub's toasty, ready for you, bud.
Now, this same woman, he has apparently paid to come clean his house at one point, despite the fact that Adam Sellers, the guy he's talking to, the swinger, has, like I said, a $1.5 million house. He has possessed eyes. He has dead eyes, Mari. His eyes are dead. He has no soul. His soul is drained at this point. She says people are right to call this out. Quarter Cuck has a very long history of taking money from his fans and blowing on luxury items like an RC racetrack and a $50,000 Rolex, while also claiming he needs constant crowdfunding. Apparently, he did this whole thing where he had like a coffee facial scrub thing that he was supposed to put out and it never happened. He raised money for it. He went full Epstein. Well, I mean, if this woman wasn't a kid, then at least that's better than Epstein. I'll say that. It's Schrodinger's wallet. You never know if he's broke or flexing his wealth. He was supposed to get Caleb Hammer, the financial guy, to review his papers and then go on Kino Casino. He backed out of all of it. Female version of me came into life. I would have sex with her, talk about the best master. Whoa, God. Dude, that's TMI, man. All right. He's writing the grift of not only being a supposed free speech advocate, but now also being a Christian. See, Brittany Venti brings this up. She brings this up multiple times, and she did this on stream last night, and I understand what Brittany's trying to say. She brings up a lot of this stuff in the context of him being a Christian. I will say the one defense I will give Jeremy is that all of the clips of this stuff are prior to his conversion. So I will be, at least charitable in that regard, that anything that he has said in all these clips is prior to him, quote unquote, converting to Christianity. All right. Let me see here. Where is this at? Attempts to deplatform his competition. We've already seen this. Here in his direct messages with Kiwi Farms owner Josh Moon, he flexed his supposed connections. We saw that already. Could ban them. TOS violations. They've got ban evading. I followed Eddie on Kick, the CEO. He followed me back. We'll see what happens. Look clean because there's no soul behind them. Not this guy he's showing is dead inside. Yeah, I mean, that's for real, dude. Besides, this is a simulation. This is my simulation. You guys aren't really real, so you're all just living in my simulation anyways, right? I swear, that's just how these people live. They feel like the world is their oyster or something. There should be a trail of change behavior. Well, yeah, but my point is these clips are from prior. You mess with the quarterings bowl, you get the horns. Oh my God. I want one of these dolls, accidentally leave it in the fridge. See, exactly. That's what you do. That's what you do with it. None of the weird stuff that people probably do with those dolls, but you get one of those little... I mean, okay, as a practical joke, I mean, that's probably pretty messed up, but at least that would be something better than what I'm sure people use it for. He tried to hide behind his wife to justify the platforming Kino Casino, claiming she's not an online figure, but here she is in all of his videos on the 100,000. See, I think around this time, something happened, and this is me speculating on another man's marriage, but if he wasn't putting all this shit out there, then there wouldn't be anything to talk about. I'm sure that wherever they are now in their marriage, where they are basically seemingly living two entirely separate lives, this is when they were probably still at least somewhat together. Now, all of a sudden, he became Brain Empress. This is from a lifetime of being... I don't know if it's just alcoholism or the fact that the money and fame went to his head or what the deal is with this. This is the tweet. This is Shu responding. So he said everything is fair game and then, of course, deleted it. It says, and because he's recently a converted Christian, it's evil to call this out. He is to be forgiven when he can't even own up to what he does and continues to have meltdowns, even calling them, including me on his stream, a whore for calling him out after he said he would disengage. So here's the quartering last night crashing out.
I'm just trying to be nice to everybody. This gets me in trouble online, apparently. I'm just trying to be nice to everybody. This gets me in trouble online, apparently.
So people called out his nice guy act because, you know, he wanted to tell Brittany Venti, during the Eliza Blue stuff, I stood up for you when you got deplatformed. I was a nice guy. Meanwhile, he's in her DMs talking about how he wants to have sex with her, wants babies with her, asking her if her friend, who at that time had been, I guess, hit on by somebody else, was single. And he's like, oh, I'm just kidding. It's like, okay. Just sent you something on Discord to listen to at your own leisure. Oh, my God. All right, I'll check it out in a bit. We all live in our own internal simulation of what the world is made up of our senses, but that's not what you're joking about. Right. Susano, I get that part of it. No, Empress, he converted very recently. He's talked for years. This has been this has been that transitional period for the last couple of years where he left culture war commentary, and then he basically, Jeremy a couple months ago, guys, I don't know if you guys know, attacked Geeks and Gamers and Nerdrotic and a bunch of these other people saying nobody watches anti-woke commentary anymore, you know, culture war commentary is dead, nobody watches that stuff, because people stopped watching Jeremy. So because people stopped watching Jeremy, and Jeremy is obsessed with analytics and the algorithm and being famous and having viewers and all this stuff, because Jeremy, Empress, you and I have talked behind the scenes about like algorithm and strategies for like boosting video content and stuff. And I admitted to you, I'm like, I don't pay attention to that stuff. If I have a video that does well, I go great. If I have a video that does poorly, I'm like, well, on to the next. I am borderline like either retarded or ignorant. I could probably understand it if I wanted to. So maybe it's just more ignorant than retarded to the analytical side of YouTube, the algorithm, all this stuff, right? So do I want more viewers? Do I want more subscribers? Do I want more whatever? Yeah, sure. Great. That's the whole point, right? But I don't obsessively chase it to the point where I'm studying things, where I'm trying to figure out the system. Jeremy lives for this stuff. So for Jeremy, it's like, he obsesses. If he has a video that probably gets like, let's say a video of his gets like 80,000 viewers instead of 90,000 viewers, right? He probably goes, oh my God, now I have to change everything. He talked about a couple weeks ago how he was going to change his entire YouTube channel from being 8-minute videos to 90-second bite-sized news clips. Okay? I mean, seriously, guys. Seriously. This man, now 75% of his views are coming from shorts because he's pumping out apparently like 150 shorts a month. And it's all stolen content, stolen videos where he goes, whoa, guys, look at this crazy leftist. Whoa. And then posts a 3-minute video, right? There's no into that topic yet. There's a lot to be learned about the analytical side of YouTube. And there are people who genuinely figure it out. My point is that the quartering, he obsesses over it because he spends so much money. Like he talks about how he has like 5 video editors and he hires 7 people. It's like, maybe cut back on the slop and make a few more videos yourself and just edit them yourself. And his thumbnails aren't even that good. And he pays like 3 thumbnail guys. So he chases all the ladies in the algorithm. You know, I know the man can walk under his own power, but when you say chases, it's like he can't keep up with them. There's just no way. All right. Where there's usually a smoke, there's fire. Yeah. He's at a level where he feels free to be himself, and this is what that is. Yeah. Yes. Real wealth doesn't have to be flexed. All right. So this is his response to people calling him out for his creepy, weird behavior.
Being nice to anyone, including women, is frowned upon. And those same dumbass whore women turn around and pretend like they weren't begging you for help, and then try to paint you as some sort of creeper. You can clip that. I'm just trying to be nice.
Okay. The man said, after meeting Gina Carano one time with the most awkward... Did you guys ever watch his interview with Gina Carano? Back when he went and interviewed her when she was filming her Daily Wire movie, it was the most awkward, uncomfortable thing because he brought this little, like, it wasn't like his webcam. It was like a little camera that he set up to film his interview with her, and his own mannerisms. He is like the most, I don't know. I know he's kind of a shut-in, right? He doesn't like traveling. He said so himself many times. The awkward mannerisms he had, you would have thought that he had met like his giant, like biggest celebrity, like crush of all time, right? And then he went home fantasizing about her cucking him in like a romantic comedy. It's crazy. Maybe some lunatic woman treated him horrible and broke him. Mari, it doesn't matter. He's married, so it shouldn't matter. He shouldn't be so broken over women in his past. He said that when Sydney Watson and him ended the Publica and their friendship ended because he spent $250,000 of his own money to start the Publica, the news company that they started together, and she didn't pay a dime, and then she talked crap about him for trying to help her with her tea company and all this stuff. He said that he was heartbroken afterwards. This is a man who's married, who was then lusting after his co-host, who had been sexually harassed allegedly by Elijah Schaefer when she was on The Blaze. Yeah, no, the dude is a sack of shit. Thought the internet would have buried him by now. Well, it's all finally coming to fruition. Oh, Mari, I'm sorry. I am speaking quicker than normal. I'll tell you that. It's funny, when I make videos, I have to remind myself, slow down when you talk. People aren't going to know what you're saying. So he chose to be this way. Even if can't control it for whatever reason, he's not doing what he's required to correct the malfunctions. Yeah. He did a few Friday Night Tights, however. I see that was prior to me even knowing about Nerdrotic. I didn't realize he was part of G&G, though. That's interesting. Huh. So, after I told him not to DM me, so this is something Brittany Venti said, because he's like, oh, I messaged you privately or whatever. She's like, I didn't want you to message me because you were already dishonest when you messaged Josh Moon, so don't bother messaging me. Jeremy responded to her in her DMs and said, I'm acting a little female-coded lately. And she's like, Jeremy, I don't want your ham babies. Told him clearly I was not interested in messaging privately, considering how he denied reality and twisted things with Josh Moon. He proceeds to privately message me anyways, why he could have just tweeted. Here we go. You cannot just stop lying. He says, I never flagged anything. I showed proof. Says, these people are all snakes lying to you. I never have been anything but kind to this woman. Now, I want you guys to understand something. He talks about Eliza Blue. Do you guys remember Eliza Blue? He's not easy on the eyes. That's beyond an understatement. For anybody who's not aware who Eliza Blue was, back in like 2021 or something, she was like the first big video topic I ever had. Okay, she was a social media influencer. She claimed that she had been a hooker, that she had been sex trafficked, that she had this crazy past, and that she was working as an advocate for women that were sex trafficked. She was going to blow the whole lid off the Andrew Tate thing. She said that she had witnesses to testify against him with the sex trafficking allegations, all this stuff. She then went on Timcast on Tim Pool, and he even had like his investigative journalist at the time. I can't remember the guy's name. And she was supposed to be like this eyewitness, star witness against Andrew Tate and all this stuff, right? And then it came out that she basically had also been doing like music videos where she was shaking her ass and stuff, and on like hip hop videos and stuff. A lot of her story just didn't jive. I looked into it. A lot of other people looked into it. In fact, Brittany Venti covered my video back in the day. That was the first video I ever had that had like 25,000 views, and I had like 100 subscribers, guys. So this was like early. At that point, my channel was still called Tebow Talk or whatever. And so, yeah. This is like early deep lore on my YouTube channel. So that whole situation with Eliza Blue, Jeremy started a personal feud, started beef with Tim Pool in order to promote himself, but also was covering the situation with Brittany Venti with Eliza Blue trying to deplatform her. Meanwhile, the Quartering is benefiting because he's making videos about both, him attacking Tim Pool and him defending Brittany Venti. But he's trying, dude, I had 100 subscribers, man. I even had a logo and everything, man. So he says, I've never been anything but kind to this woman, talking about Brittany Venti, and now she's pretending none of that happened for clicks. I was the loudest voice defending her against deplatforming during the Eliza Blue situation too, but I mean clicks. Getting OG lore drops today. Yeah, man, this is before anybody. I might still have a couple subscribers from back in the day that are still on the channel. But yeah, that was like, this was like early deep like lore for my channel back in, I think it was like I said 2021. The video is still there. You can still find it. I played Choo Choo Charles, one of the best indie games of all time, and I used that as the background footage for my video. It was great video. But yeah, Brittany Venti covered the video on her stream, got a lot of views. The whole topic, the whole Eliza Blue thing was a really big thing at the time. So she said, you defended me against Eliza Blue because she was trying to deplatform me in the name of free speech. So yeah, I'm going to speak up when I see you threatening to deplatform Kino Casino. Like when Moses was around. I'm not that old, man. I'm 40, not 4,000. He deletes a lot of tweets and is not above lying. Let me see here. It says, I'm under attack. Jeremy's famous for claiming to be under attack, but it seems that he's the one doing the attacking. He tried to deplatform Kino Casino, but he even bullied a 12-year-old when, yeah, if you see this tweet of Kim Kardashian's daughter. Now, look, I'll make fun of her for, like, her mom letting her leave the house looking like that. Would I go up to a 12-year-old on the street and say, what the hell's wrong with you? Of course not. I might look at their parents a little sideways, like, what's wrong with you? But the quartering here saying, normally I would say kids are off limits, but how is that hairline so cooked at 12 years old already? Was her dad LeBron? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that one, to be honest. Shitty thing to say, but I've said shitty things too. Jeremy, when met with criticism, just blocks everyone. Says he's acting female coded. Why does being a Christian suddenly mean that having zero accountability in these parts? Oh, that's a terrible picture. Man. Oh, that's right. She's got a soap company she's associated with. Makes candles and stuff too. That forehead. Yeah, like attacking somebody else's kid. I can't recall. Like, I might see somebody's like, yeah, I'm just gonna not say that. Oh, Kim Kardashian's daughter is, I don't know if you could technically call her kids public figures. I mean, they go to events and they travel. It's kind of like Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith's kids. Oh, Will Smith. Oh my God. Dude, prime example. I wonder how many videos the quartering has made about Will Smith. In fact, let's fact check this in real time. Given the fact that the entire Will Smith saga for the past couple of years has been the fact that he has been cuckolded by his wife, right? This is fascinating. I just thought of it. Let's look this up. I have to look for the quartering since I'm not subbed anymore. The quartering. Okay. Jeremy's first problem was becoming a coffee spokesman. Guy never actually drinks coffee. I just finished my 3rd cup of coffee today. I drink way too much coffee. All right, hang on a second. The quartering. How do we search videos? Please don't autoplay. Please don't. Search Will Smith. Let's see here. Okay. Mother load. Holy crap. All right. So, Jeremy is not allowed to be made fun of because of the allegations and the seemingly weird relationship that he has with a man who is a swinger, which means that he sleeps with other men's wives. Jeremy has said how he has no issue with that to different strokes for different folks, has talked about how based it is that Ricardo might have been getting a blowjob from another man's wife because, hey, it's not another guy cheating with your wife, so what's the big deal? Blah, 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 blah. How many videos do you think he has making fun of Will Smith? 340,000 views 4 years ago. This man was doing great. Algorithmically, he was doing great for views. All right. It's just going to keep going, guys. In fact, hang on. Do you see what I see right here? Let me zoom in. Because this is very funny. This thumbnail right here. Look who this is in the background with the words cuck. Glass houses, man. Glass freaking houses, dude. I swear to God. I just can't. Yeah, rules for thee, but not for him. All right. It just goes on and on and on. All these videos about Will Smith. And the only reason people were talking about Will Smith was because his wife was having an affair, an open relationship, and he was getting roasted. Are these all shorts on Will Smith? I think eventually it stops. Yeah, this gets into his shorts. Yeah. That's not a small list. No, dude, this is... If I was to count, what, 35, 40 videos, maybe? Poor Smith. Nah, and Mari, I don't feel sorry for him. He married the woman. He stayed with her. That's his own doing. Like, I don't feel sorry for the man at all. We all make our own bed, right? But it's more the fact, the point is the hypocrisy that Jeremy is definitely exemplifying here. Oh yeah, Men in Black was great. Will Smith's wife was also my side piece. Every garbage video happens to be over 10 minutes, must be a coincidence. That was because, what, guys, I don't even know, because some of my videos will be 8 minutes and some of them will be 16 minutes. It's based on like the actual subject matter I'm covering. Is there like, because guys, I'm so bad at YouTube. I don't even like try to manually place my ad rolls. In fact, my live streams, I don't even think I set the ad rolls to go like at regular intervals. I don't even know. I think with YouTube, it's if you get over 10 minutes, you get like an extra ad roll during your video, like 2 ads per video or some shit like that. So when the quartering, makes his videos, he's like, yeah, but let me, okay, now we've just dragged out 30 more seconds to get it past that 10-minute mark, right? Look, if I'm making a video now and I realize that there's a tiny, like a fraction of a second gap where I take a breath and it's gonna like throw off the entire vibe of the video, I'll just use my video editing tool and I'll snip out that little section there, because nobody wants to hear you taking a deep breath or just like a gap in the air, right? He made over 200 videos about Brie Larson. Yeah, that's crazy. Look, I've made videos specifically covering topics in both video games and pop culture about freaks and weirdos and people who deserve to be roasted. I can't think of a single person that I could ever have wanted to make 200 videos on. Like, that's insane. Aita over Jada Smith. Oh, God. You guys want to see something funny? Hang on, let me show you something funny, though. This is great. This is great. This was something that actually I considered making a video on around Easter weekend, but Easter, I was so busy. I was a terrible person and didn't go to church on Easter. Instead, I spent 3 straight days doing physical yard work and housework and labor and moving furniture and all sorts of stuff. We had good dinner, though. I can't remember what we had, but it was good. Xvoto, that's what we're looking for. I wanted to make a video on this because, given the fact that it was Easter weekend, it was so funny. Oh, here we go. We got 6 people currently playing Xvoto. Probably the same 6 people who've been playing it for like the last week and a half. Clownfish and Desparo overdo it sometimes with 200. But the thing is, Clownfish TV covers things from an actual, like, okay, the quartering is an article reader. Reads an article. Whoa, Brie Larson. Let's read this article about things she said. Whoa. Clownfish TV, at least, Neon and Geeky, they have a conversation. That's the thing I'll give them, is they're having an actual conversation. It's Easter weekend now. Oh, is it different in Bulgaria? I know that like Orthodox and stuff, I think it's like, 10 days later or something. Maybe they're dead and still logged in. But the reason I wanted to make a video about this, and I get it, like the whole... that maybe it's been overdone, talked about too much, talked to death. This game that came out, all right, only has 76 people playing it right now, but has a higher peak, 472 players, than Xvoto ever got. It's called I Am Jesus Christ, and it's an actual, like, people thought it was decent. They said, hey, if you wanted to have like kids like with an interactive Bible game kind of learn about the Bible, it's actually pretty good, right? It has a higher all-time peak on Steam than Xvoto got. And this game was made by an even smaller team. This was made by like 5 people, whereas Xvoto had 15 people in their studio. So once again, Jesus wins, right? Exactly. I'm like, oh my God, that's great. So I thought that would have been a fun video topic, or at least on a live stream. But here we are, like almost a week later, so it's no longer relevant, I guess. It'd be funny to poke fun at. Saw it in my Steam recommendations. Look, I would give it a go. So I've told you guys before, John Gibson, the guy that was canceled from the studio that made Tripwire, the studio that made Killing Floor. He was canceled because back in 2021, when life was hell and Twitter was a cesspool of leftists and everyone could get canceled, he spoke out and said that he was, in favor of pro-life legislation, and he had to step down from Tripwire. Now he's working on an actual Bible game with his own studio, his own publishing company. So it's really funny to see how things go. I actually had it on my wish list. I've thought about giving it a try, playing it, and seeing. The only criticisms I've seen of this game is that people said it's the AI voice work is a little odd, and it seems like some of the mini games kind of pull you out of the whole, well, you're in a Bible experience and the time setting and all that. But here, let's do this traditional video game mini game, right? I'd rather be playing Jesus the Next Photo. Lugia, 100%. 100%. Yeah, I saw something about that, Owamushi. Doki Doki Literature Club's now banned on Google Play Store. Yeah, I saw something about that. Rough thing to make a game about. It is tough. It is tough because how do you do it in a respectful way? And I say that kind of like, in air quotes, because again, it's a video game. It's whatever. Where people can still enjoy the game, make it fun and entertaining without being preachy and weird and having that traditional. Although, I will say that one of the greatest NES games of all time is there was a Bible Stories, Bible Adventures game. Can you guys remember what the one I'm talking about? It has 3 separate missions. You play the level as Noah. There's one as I think it's David and Goliath, and then there's another one. I think it might be Moses. It's not Moses. I can't remember what it is. It's original NES. You guys would have to go way back to know which one I'm talking about. The old guys in chat might know. NES Bible Adventure King of Kings. It wasn't King of Kings. I don't think that was the name, was it? But it had like 3 or 4 different Bible stories in it. The Noah's Ark one was so good. You played it as a kid? All right. So you know what I'm talking about. The Noah's Ark one might be one of the most underrated games of all time, in my opinion. It had some solid mechanics. Yeah, it really did. It was actually really good. It was actually a really good game. And that's saying something, because back in the 80s and 90s, there was some really terrible Christian media. Oh, they made 2 different carts? Okay. So yeah, I only had one of them. God, it's already midnight. Holy cow. Well, guys, it might be time to pull the plug on this one. It kind of is what it is at this point. No, it wasn't VeggieTales, but VeggieTales, before VeggieTales gave up their creative rights to like Netflix or whatever, when they got, did they go out of business and then they sold the brand? I can't remember what happened. But VeggieTales was pretty awesome back in the day. Steam name, my Steam name, I don't know. Hang on. You're gonna get my boomer self here trying to figure out what my Steam username is. I've shared it before. My profile. I mean, username's just Tebow on here, but that's not. So Steam community. This is the Steam ID. You guys can add me. I probably won't play with anybody, and it's not a personal thing. I play single player games primarily, or I hop on to like play a couple rounds of like a Insurgency or something or whatever. But yeah, look at this fake gamer. Look at this fake gamer. Only 24% average completion rate on games. That's insane. H Brown, that's because my kids, first off, they use this computer occasionally to play Among Us, and I also played the hell out of this game only with them. Only with them. I don't play Among Us on my own. That's one of those things where I played with them. You have a friend? Hell yeah, there you go. I'll add you back, don't worry. Let me see here. I don't even know how to look up your achievements. Let me check this out. Let me go. I don't want to edit the showcase. I can't look at my achievements. Oh, here we go. Personal achievements. Why is it just one game? I don't want to look at it. I don't care. This is so stupid. What? You know what I mean, H Brown. I mean, I don't play Among Us without my kids. The only time I play it is with them. That's it. Can't you look it up by hours played? I did this before. How if I put 170 hours into Elden Ring and never finish the DLC? That's crazy. That is truly crazy. Oh yeah, pretend you didn't see Vindictus Defying Fate on there. I'm not supposed to talk about that. Dude, 358 hours on Insurgency Sandstorm alone. 30 of 35 achievements. That's why I'm not finishing the games. In games on the right side. Okay, hang on a second. Games. Here we go. Okay, based on playtime. Is that where we're at? Dude, Insurgency has more hours played than freaking Valheim. Warframe makes sense. I was grinding Warframe back in the day. 138 of 193 achievements. That's not bad for me. I'm not an achievement hunter. Elden Ring, 32 of 42. Apex Legends. And guys, this is a relatively new account. I played Apex back on my Xbox back when I was actually streaming it, like a couple thousand hours worth of Apex. But 146 hours is not bad, seeing as I only play that with my kids. Arc Raider is 126 hours. That was like all in about a month and a half. Mountain Blade Bannerlord, 108 hours, and I never beat the game. 0 achievements? How's that possible? What? Did they add achievements later on? I don't really care about... oh, probably early access. That's probably why. 2,500 hours on Rocket League. Oh, dude, Bannerlord's great. Bannerlord is really good. No, I mean, yeah, these achievements are things I don't recall doing, but some of these are actually insane. Oh yeah, finish the tutorial. Okay, so clearly this was done after I bought the game. Okay. Maybe I'm just defying fate. Oh my god. Have a way to send you games when I have extras. Oh, appreciate it, Susano. Just, yeah, I mean, you guys can add me. I don't mind. I'll add you back. I just don't necessarily play very many games with people. All right, guys, I'm going to go to bed. It's only midnight. I'll probably stay up and read for a little bit. Like I said, I'm going to probably go to work for a couple hours tomorrow, do some cleanup stuff around the shop because Monday is going to be hell. But it's been fun. I mean, I know dancing on somebody else's grave, praying on somebody else's downfall. It's like, whatever, it's not cool. But at the same time, I'm not over here dancing on Jeremy's grave or praying on his downfall. The man is imploding in real time. I'm just over here in shock that somebody that I actually used to watch and actually, I mean, because I've super chatted Jeremy before. I bought his stupid coffee. I was a fan of the channel at one point. And this dude honestly has burned every last bit of goodwill that people had for him. It's just whatever, dude. Decent weather? Yeah, today was good. Today was really good. OG Witcher game. I had never played the OG Witcher game. 2026, so much failures for anything. Yeah, Empress, it got worse. It wasn't always so hard to watch him. It wasn't always so bad. It's just gotten to the point where now it's like, I don't watch his content anymore. I only kept him subscribed up until recently because it's like, well, maybe he'll cover something that I don't know anything about and that I don't want to take the time to sit down and read an article on. But holy shit, it's just gone from bad to worse. Quarter Pounder's a con man. Yeah, it's gone that way. It definitely feels that way. All right, guys. Appreciate you all. This was a fun stream. You guys really turned out. This was awesome. I will catch you guys probably back on Monday. I will avoid certain unsaid YouTubers. You don't broadcast anything you see me playing that doesn't exist. Oh, fair enough, dude. 100%. Oompa? You call me an Oompa? You guys can call me an Oompa. That's okay. Oh, cool. All right, I'll redirect it over to you, Empress. I have to search for your username, though. It doesn't actually pop up for me anymore. I have to actually search in the little toolbar it gives me to search for streams. All right, guys, so if you're still going to be hanging around for a bit, go ahead and head over to Empress's stream. I'm going to be getting you guys sent over there right now other way, but appreciate y'all for hanging. It's been a lot of fun. Dude, I got to get better at telling people to like and subscribe the video. I feel so cringy at telling people to do that. Holy shit. All right. Have a good night, guys. Y'all stay safe, stay awesome. I will catch you guys very soon here. 37 live. This, guys, I don't check the live viewers. That's crazy. That's awesome. Y'all really showed up. I never asked people to sub. I don't know. It feels weird. Even on here for 5-something years or however long I've actually been streaming, it feels weird. I don't know. Yeah, almost. I mean, asking somebody to like your video, even it kind of feels like e-banging. It's the weirdest thing. It's like it shouldn't, but it does. All right. Redirect is set to go to Empress's channel, guys. I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all have a good night. Stay safe. Don't turn into the quartering. Don't become a cuck.